Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is round 4 of the Virtual Drift Championship Season 9. My name is Craig. With me, as always, is Tanner. What's up, Tanner?
What is happening, Craig and chat and all the wonderful viewers out there? What a qualifying! If you guys missed that one, it got crazy.
Yeah, it sure did. Qualifying went crazy indeed. And with those last 16 qualifying battles as well, we'll take a look at today's top 32 main event bracket here. And we'll load in that first left-hand side of the bracket. So Isaev is going to start things off for us against Danielis Parangauskas. Take your screenshots now of that bracket. If you want to follow along with us, we'll pull it up when necessary, when we have the time to do so, and we'll follow along with it as well. If you're just now joining us and missed out on today's qualifying, here is today's line map. So start of the course on the left-hand side of your screen, and a big run up to a big initiation, a small off-throttle area allowed there upon that initiation, but drivers need to be back on throttle quickly if they choose to do so. So it's 5 turns and 5 outside zones. Filling outside zone 1, you see there at the top of your screen, clip 1 all the way around that turn, and then transitioning across that track and filling outside zone 2. Transitioning across the track once more in outside zone 3, clip 3, with another very small off-throttle area there. You kind of clutch in if you need to super duper quickly pull the handbrake there in clip 3. Not quite recommended, but it is allowed there. Picking up throttle quickly, like right as that zone starts, and pinning it against a very large wall ride. Continuing on into a small, narrow Manji section of the course into clip 4, and then into clip 5, your last and final outside zone with a decel area, big decel area, and drivers need to make it as smooth as they possibly can. We don't want to see those lead drivers slamming on brakes or coming in too hot and then having to slam on brakes. It's a good indicator if they don't quite fill the zone, they're not quite using all the speed that they need to use. But it's a tricky one heading into that last and final outside zone, just like we saw earlier. So our next driver should be at the line, ready to go for today's first battle. Not quite at the line, but they're on their way. Tanner, what do you think?
They're coming. They're coming. They're getting the hurry up, that's for sure. But just like Craig said, welcome everybody to round 4 of the Virtual Drift Championships here at the Bahrain International Circuit. What a lovely track has been built. If you missed qualifying, you're in for a show here for battles. We have Isaev, the rookie, who qualified first today, up against Danielis Parangauskas. And though it says he qualified 32, any of these guys are capable of taking first place. So, first battle underway of the top 32. Out of the gate comes Vitaly, initiates in. Right with him, Danielis off of that initiation through outer zone 1. They transition down to outer zone 2. And look at the angle that Vitaly's throwing through outer zone 2 while keeping that speed up. Little tap there from the chase driver of Danielis as they come out of outer zone 3 down towards 4. Make that quick transition along the bumper now to 5. Another little tap there from the chase, but they finish out the run strong.
Yeah, what an exciting start to this top 32 battle. We'll take another look at it here on the replay. See if we can get those names sorted as well on that graphic. But it is Isaev leading Parangauskas through this course, filling outside zone 1, right along that bumper through that first transition in that chase position. Once more heading into outside zone 3, pinning it against that wall and hanging that wing over top of it. Good transition, filling outside zone 4, heading into 5, nice and smooth, picking up that throttle and driving across that finish line.
driving across the finish line and now at the start line. They are flipped around and ready for the second half of their battle. Danielis Parangauskas now out front. Vitaly chasing him down. They initiate in. Aggressive initiation from the lead of Danielis. Little conservative there from Vitaly, but keeping a good proximity there as they come out of outer zone 2, down towards the wall ride of outer zone 3. Now Vitaly puts it on the door through the wall ride. Danielis just trying to do the best lead line he can as they kick up a little bit of dirt out of outer zone 4. They slow right down, but it's not enough. Vitaly right there on the door as they finish out side by side.
Yeah, let's take another look at it here. Danielis now out front leading teammate Vitaly through this course in the second half of their top 32 battle. See if we can get those names to propagate on that graphic. Look at there. Tons of angle through outside zone 1. Nicely done for outside zone 2 as well. Right along that bumper is Vitaly, and then reeling him in quickly, staying in that pocket through outside zone 3 and along that wall, bumper to bumper through that transition into 4 and into 5. Nice and smooth. Vitaly ends up on a little bit of an inside line, but overall very smooth from them as well. Yeah, we'll see if we can fix these names and what's going on here. See if we can get a judge's decision on this battle. Again, Vitaly Isaev and Danielis Parangauskas. So we've lost to Dion, and Carl is stepping in to get us those names and cars and stuff up on the screen so we can follow along. But again, Vitaly Isaev and Danielis Parangauskas just battling it out here in the top 32. So we wait on those judges to make the decision between these teammates. What do you think, Tanner?
It's a tough one to call, but looking at it, I think Vitaly could have been a little more aggressive off the initiation, really shown like I can get just as close, because Danielis's initiation into outer zone 1 was just insane right there, then and there. But there was that tire drop from Danielis's lead, so it can really go either way. So I think I got to leave it to the judges without making too much of a call.
Yeah, they did. As you were saying it, it's a unanimous decision. Vitaly gets the win and moves along into the top 16 over his teammate Danielis Parangauskas that fought his way through those last 16 qualifying battles.
Well, good job from Vitaly indeed, taking that first spot in the top 16. Now we're back around for more top 32 action. Already some love in chat for the man in the lead lane, Maxime Tinguy, in the 1 Series BMW, being chased down by Brandon Patrick in his, I believe it's a Z4. Correct me if I'm wrong, Craig. I'm still learning these BMWs. So here we go. Lights on, and off they go. They are going to call a restart due to the big pause at the start there when the lights went on. We're going to try that again. Pay attention to the lights. So again, Maxime in that lead. And then Patrick ready to chase him down. The lights go on and we get a good getaway this time. And off we go. Maxime initiates in, looking good off the initiation. Brandon right there with him in proximity through outer zone 1. They transition along that bumper into outer zone 2. Little bobble by both drivers as they make that transition down to the wall ride of outer zone 3. Brandon Patrick right on the door of Maxime, but Maxime doing a great job here out front as they transition through outer zone 4, now into the final outer zone 5. Brandon puts it on the door and they drive through the finish.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's take another look at it here in the top 32. First half of their battle. Maxime leading Brandon Patrick. Initiating in. Nicely done filling outside zone 1. Brandon applying some pressure through that first transition right along that bumper and staying with him through outside zone 2, heading into 3 now. Right along the door is Brandon Patrick in that chase position right along the bumper once more through that transition, heading into outside zone 5 now. Nicely done from Maxime out front. Draws out of the angle maybe a little bit early, but a solid lead run as well.
Well, back around at the start, ready for the second half of their battle, and who will join Vitaly in the top 16. Brandon Patrick now in that lead lane. Maxime ready to chase him down. The lights go on, and the second half of this battle is underway. They get away out of the gate. Good. Initiate in. Quick initiation for Brandon Patrick out front, leaving Maxime just a little bit behind there out of outer zone 1. Maxime uses the transition to catch back up, though, and put it back in the pocket out of outer zone 2. No wavering from that lead. Maxime able to get up on the door now as they leave outer zone 3. They come through 4. One last transition into 5. Maxime right on the door. Maybe some contact there right at the camera switch, but that was a very close battle.
Yeah, let's take another look at it here. Brandon Patrick out front here in the second half. Maxime giving chase and doing a good job doing that. Brandon out front, initiating in with a good lead and filling outside zone 1. Maxime making a dive into outside zone 2 and staying with him, applying a little bit of pressure right along that bumper, and then going for another dive, staying with Brandon out front here in outside zone 3, heading into 4, filling it nicely. And then here we see Brandon come up a little bit short of that outside zone, not quite filling it in the beginning of it. Will that play a role in the decision? Maxime on the left, Brandon Patrick on the right. Winner moves on into the top 16.
Cut me off anytime, Craig, but I'm going to believe that's going to come down to if there was contact there at the 5th outer zone when that camera switched.
Yeah, really close. And we do have a decision. So Chris chooses a one more time. Ed and Carl go left for Maxime Tinguy. Maxime getting the win over Brandon Patrick and moving along into the top 16. Close battle between those two. So next up, Ethan Minnema and Victor Lasheras.
Ethan Minnema making his way up to the line, that E36 BMW in that lead lane. What a gorgeous livery he has on that for this year. And then in the chase, Victor Lasheras in that FC RX7. Well, they're ready to battle it out to take yet another spot for our top 16. They wait patiently for those lights to go. The lights start to illuminate, and on they are. On throttle out of the gate, Ethan initiates in. Victor Lasheras right there with them through outer zone 1. A little bit of a bobble through outer zone 1 for Victor Lasheras. They come into outer zone 2. Victor's trying to catch up, put it right in the pocket on Ethan's door. They come into outer zone 3. Victor's trying to lunge. He gets on that door as they leave outer zone 3. They transition through outer zone 4. Ethan dropping some tire there as they come into outer zone 5. Victor almost bullying him as he stays on the door side by side to the finish.
Yeah, let's take another look on the replay. Ethan Minnema out front here in the first half of this battle. Victor Lasheras giving chase, and Ethan looking dialed in here on this lead run, initiating in nice and smooth, big angle through outside zone 1. Good transition across, filling outside zone 2 now. Victor trying to apply some pressure, makes a dive there a little bit on the inside, tries to back that car into that pocket of the E36 from Ethan Minnema. Ethan doing a good job there. We do see some dirt pop up and then filling that last and final outside zone. So the attempts have fallen just a little bit since the last 16 in qualifying, and it's interesting watching these drivers deal with maybe that little bit of extra grip.
Yeah, exactly. They're something they're going to have to deal with, maybe even adjust tire pressure while they can in the pits, but the lights go on for the second half of this battle. Victor Lasheras out front. Ethan Minnema now going to chase him down. Initiating in Victor Lasheras. Right on him is Ethan Minnema through outer zone 1. They make the transition just bumper to bumper through outer zone 2. And now down to outer zone 3. Good lunge there, but a wall tap from the lead driver, Victor Lasheras. That gives Ethan a bit of an advantage, puts him more on the door as they come through outer zone 4. Down into outer zone 5. Lasheras scraping the wall, just missing it. And they finish out this run.
Yeah, let's take a second look. Second half of the battle here. Victor Lasheras out front leading Ethan Minnema here in the top 32. Big initiation from Victor Lasheras, filling outside zone 1. Right along that bumper is Ethan, though, applying a bit of pressure here in outside zone 2. Backs up for that transition, then makes another dive. We see a small little tap along the wall from Victor, causing a very small correction. They continue on like it didn't even happen, and here they go, floating on into outside zone 5 and across the finish line. We go to our judges here. Once more in the top 32, Ethan on the left, Victor on the right. And there it is, a quick unanimous decision. Ethan Minnema getting the win over Victor Lasheras, and he'll move on into the top 16.
Ethan Minnema grabbing one of the spots for the top 16 as we move on to our next battle. In the lead lane, Darius Ostreika in that beautiful BMW in the lead lane. And then chasing him down, Abdulrahman Alshetwi in that Nissan Z. The lights go on and this battle is underway. Darius Ostreika gets out of the gate, initiates in. Abdulrahman initiates in as well, not too far behind him as they come through outer zone 1. They transition down to outer zone 2, losing touch just a little bit as the chase driver of Abdulrahman gets right up onto the bumper for the transition into outer zone 3. Now on the door of Darius Ostreika as they leave outer zone 3, make the quick transition through 4 down towards 5. Now we have Abdulrahman not giving him any breathing room through outer zone 5 as they finish out door to door.
Yeah, let's take another look here on the replay. Darius Ostreika out front, leading Abdulrahman Alshetwi. Small feint initiation from Darius, filling outside zone 1. And Alshetwi applying some pressure there in the back half of outside zone 2. Nicely done on that next transition, heading into outside zone 3. Darius filling that zone all the way around, staying along that wall. Alshetwi once more along that bumper through those transitions, heading into outside zone 5. Darius filling it all the way around.
Now back around at the start gate, Abdulrahman Alshetwi now in the lead lane in that Nissan of his, being chased down by Darius Ostreika. The lights go on and off they go. Down the straight, initiating in with Darius already on the attack. A little tire drop off the initiation for Abdulrahman, so he doesn't quite fill outer zone 1, but they come into outer zone 2. Darius is on the attack here as he's trying his hardest to keep that BMW right on the door of that Nissan of Abdulrahman as they come through the end of outer zone 3, make the quick transition through outer zone 4, almost making contact on the bumper as they come into outer zone 5. And he gives them a little tap at the end to let them know, hey, I was right here the whole time.
He sure was. Let's take another look on this replay. Alshetwi out front this time in the second half of this battle. Darius chasing him down. Good initiation, but as you pointed out, just dropping a tiny little bit of tire, but he does leave outside zone 1 a little bit early as well. Fills outside zone 2 good, but Darius is right there in the pocket of that door, giving him a little nudge there in outside zone 3. Filling 4 and a ton of angle from Alshetwi out front before transitioning into that last and final outside zone. They go across the line with a bit of contact. We go to our judges. Darius on the left, Alshetwi on the right. It looks like, yeah, we are going to have a one more time unanimous decision from all three of those judges. One more time, we'll line them back up.
Well, hopefully Abdulrahman remembers to shut his hood before the next round starts. As we did get a one more time call, which means we're going to take these drivers, bring them back to the line, we're going to run them again. So that way they give the judges more clear, definitive answer on who deserves to move on to the top 16. Darius Ostreika will now reslot himself in that lead lane. Abdulrahman Alshetwi will chase him down for the start of this one more time battle. At the line, ready to go. They are just waiting on those lights, waiting on the judges. And here we go. The lights go on and the one more time battle is underway. Out of the gate, nice and clean. Darius initiates him, but right beside him on the door was Abdulrahman Alshetwi, maybe pushing him through outer zone 1. He leaves the room for the transition into outer zone 2, but quickly gets back onto the door of Darius. They come into outer zone 3 now. Alshetwi not moving from the door of that BMW, of that lead car, as they come through outer zone 4, leaving no room on these transitions at all. A little bobble there from the chase just to get back up on the door, but they finish out the run side by side.
Yeah, they did. Let's take another look at it here on the replay. Darius Ostreika leading Abdulrahman Alshetwi here in their one more time battle of the first half, filling outside zone 1. Abdulrahman getting a little bit on the inside there before transitioning into 2, but making a big dive and throwing it right back onto the door of Darius out front. Darius locked into that line and angle for outside zone 3, though, filling outside zone 4, and then nicely done. Much better here for outside zone 5, but Alshetwi right there on the door, crossing that finish line.
Well, they're back around at the start gate, and if that wasn't a statement to be made in that chase run, well, Darius has got to bring everything he's got in the second half of this one more time battle. Alshetwi brought the heat. Now it's time to answer for it. Initiating in right beside him is Darius Ostreika on the door through outer zone 1, along the bumper into outer zone 2. Look at that, matching the angle. They transition again down into outer zone 3. He leaves a bit of room here just in case of a wall tap, but sticks to the door of Abdulrahman Alshetwi. They come through outer zone 4, transition along the bumper. One more outer zone to go. You would think this is the finals, but no, it's the top 32.
Yeah, definitely going at it here. Let's take another look. Second half of their one more time battle. Alshetwi out front this time. Ostreika giving chase and applying some pressure right upon initiation. Even before it, there's some more pressure in the outside zone 2, staying along that rear bumper as they transition into outside zone 3. Alshetwi is cooking through the course here, though, filling outside zone 3, now 4, heading up into 5 now, using all of that rumble strip, picking up throttle, but Darius Ostreika is still applying some pressure. We go to our judges once more between these two. Darius on the left, Abdulrahman on the right. And there it is. We have a decision, unanimous. Darius Ostreika gets the win, moves on into the top 16 where he'll face Minnema. Great battle between those two. We'll pull up our bracket as our first group. That top left-hand side is complete. Vitaly getting the win over Danielis Parangauskas, moving on into the top 16. Maxime Tinguy also getting the win over Brandon Patrick. Minnema taking home the victory over Victor Lasheras, and Darius Ostreika getting the win. But up next, Zach O'Sullivan and Artem Chulkov, Dmitry Mitin and Yaroslav Vasilio, Alan Hynes and Jordan L. Nasser, Robert Kwieciński, and Brett Wolford. Coming up next here in the top 32. Hayes getting into position with his semaphore. Wonderful new start light created by Joka Design. Sort of fitting the theme with all the new objects that he made for us. Fantastic start light. Oh, and actually hearing that Kay has lost power, so it's Chris back on the light. Like the good old days.
It looks like we have our battle at the line ready to go. We got Zach O'Sullivan, last year's champion, in the lead lane in that E36 up against Artem Chulkov in his BMW. They come through outer zone 1 and Artem already putting on the pressure onto the last year's champion, Zach O'Sullivan. They come out of outer zone 2, a bump to the rear bumper from Artem Chulkov as they come into outer zone 3, but he's not leaving the door of Zach O'Sullivan. He knows he has to bring the pressure and bring the heat to last year's champ. They come into outer zone 5, door to door as they finish out that run.
Yeah, let's take a second look. Maybe a little bit too aggressive in that chase position. As we see those lights count down. Zach leaves the gate leading Artem Chulkov here in the first half of their battle. Good initiation from Zach, filling outside zone 1. Tons of angle as well. You see a ton of pressure being applied from Artem, and there's some contact. Zach honestly doing a really good job to not send that car into the wall and keep things going like it never even happened. Filling outside zone 4. Artem still right there in that chase position, right there along that door as they cross the finish line. Holy smokes.
Now back around at the start line, Artem Chulkov now in the lead position. Zach O'Sullivan ready to bring the heat in the chase as the lights go on in the second half of this battle's underway. Initiating in is Artem Chulkov. Nice and conservative in that chase, though, is Zach O'Sullivan. Being gentle on that transition, but quickly getting back onto the door of Artem Chulkov. He leaves the room again, but back to glued to that door once more like a magnet. They come out of outer zone 3 off that wall ride through the smoke, through outer zone 4, now into 5, and look at Zach right there the whole time.
Yeah, did not let up whatsoever. Let's take another look here. Artem out front, this time in the second half of their top 32 battle. Zach giving chase. Clean start out of the gate, burning those tires down, and initiating in is Artem out front, filling outside zone 1. Good transition across. Zach trying to make a dive there in that chase position, backing up for that second transition, and then reeling him back in for outside zone 3. A little bit on the inside is Zach in that E36, but staying with him and applying some pressure all the way in there into outside zone 5. And there they go across the finish line. We go to our judges. Once more in the top 32, Zach on the left, Artem on the right. And it looks like we do have a decision. Chris, Ed, and Carl, all three of our judges today, go left for Zach O'Sullivan. He gets the win, moves on into the top 16.
And Zach O'Sullivan moving on. That's another spot filled as we have our next battle at the line. Dmitry Mitin in that lead position up against Yaroslav Veselaho in that beautiful Mercedes in the chase lane. The lights go on. The next top 32 battle underway. They come out of the gate clean, start going up the gears, initiate in. Good initiation by Dmitry out front, but Yaroslav matching him through outer zone 1, now into outer zone 2, putting it right on the door through outer zone 2, leaves that room for the transition. A little bobble there from the lead, but it doesn't upset the chase, who just gets even closer to the door and the bumper of Dmitry out front. He sacrifices that line to try and get right up on the door through to the finish.
Yeah, we'll go back to the replay here in the first half of their top 32 battle. Dmitry Mitin out front. Yaroslav giving chase. in the land yacht. Nicely done for outside zone 1, filling it all the way around and then putting the boat right there on the door through outside zone 2, reeling him right back in for outside zone 3. But a pretty dialed lead run from Dmitry Mitin out front, making it easy. We see some dirt there pop up for outside zone 4, and then a little bit on the inside in that big Mercedes in the chase position.
Well, now it's time to see how that Mercedes does in the lead lane. Ready to chase him down is Dmitry Mitin. Lights go on and off they go for the second half of this battle. Let's see who will go up against Zach O'Sullivan. Initiating in. Dmitry Mitin super aggressive off that initiation. Good thing he left the room though, so no contact was made. They come through outer zone 2 side by side. Not quite on the door, but now it happens through outer zone 3. Dmitry Mitin almost pushing him through the exit of outer zone 3. They make the transition through outer zone 4. Someone dropping a tire there, but Dmitry Mitin can't hang with the Merc and spins out halfway through outer zone 5.
Oh my goodness. Let's take another look here. Second half of their top 32 battle. Yaroslav now out front, initiating in. A long car filling outside zone 1. Dmitry right there on the bumper through that first transition here as well. Maybe giving it a little bit of contact there heading into outside zone 3. He plants it on the door in outside zone 3 as well, following him through 4 here into outside zone 5. My goodness. We go to our judges. I don't know. Dmitry is on the left. Yaroslav is on the right. Winner moves on to the top 16.
Again, cut me off if they start moving, but I think it maybe
you're done.
That time.
Done.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, okay. I can't see the slider.
Actually, we have a decision. Yaroslav gets the win unanimously over Dmitry Mitin. I'm sorry, Tanner. What do you want to say?
I was going to say, I think it actually came down to, I think it might have been Dmitry who dropped tire there, and that's what ended up causing him to just kind of overspeed into 5, and he tried to just power through it, spun out.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate one. Ended the run there.
Well, only 2 more spots remain on the right-hand side of the bracket. And to fill one of those spots is one of these 2 drivers. Alan Hynes in the Team Hynesi RTR Mustang in the lead lane up against Jordan L. Nasser in that E36 BMW. They initiate in. Good initiation for Alan Hynes out front. Nice and conservative. Jordan had a little bit of a bobble there through outer zone 1, but he's starting to catch up as we get into outer zone 3. Alan doing what he needs to do out front. Jordan now starting to close that distance, almost right on the door, but this is where it comes down to, that outer zone 5. Jordan scrambles a little bit in that chase position, but not a falter from the lead of Alan Hynes.
Let's take another look here. Replay. Here in the top 32, first half of this battle, Alan Hynes out front and filling outside zone 1. Jordan having a little bit of a bobble there in outside zone 1, trying to reel Alan back in right along the bumper there into outside zone 3. Maybe a little tap on the wall from Alan out front as well, and maybe a tap there through that transition from Jordan out of that chase position. He doesn't quite fill that last and final outside zone.
As we wait for Alan Hynes to get slotted in, Jordan L. Nasser will now be in the lead. Alan Hynes ready to chase him down. The lights go on, and the second half of this battle's underway. And whoa, I think someone hit a cone, so that's going to be a restart there. Unlike real life, these cones are made out of pure cement. They do not move, so you hit one and it's very jarring, especially when you're in the cockpit. But we quickly reset them, and we start it again. Jordan in the lead, Alan Hynes in the chase. The lights go on, and Jordan makes it through clean this time. Gets on throttle, initiates in. Looking good for Jordan out front so far. A little bit of dancing on the wheel in that lead. Alan Hynes sticking right with him though, putting it almost on the door, leaving enough room for that transition as they come into outer zone 3. Jordan doing a good job at Alan Hynes starting to apply that pressure as they come into outer zone 4. One last transition to go into outer zone 5. Jordan's got it dialed in. He hits that wall at the end, but a good run overall.
Well, let's take a second look here. Jordan out front this time. Second half of their top 32 battle, leading Alan Hynes through the course here. Good initiation from Jordan, really filling outside zone 1. Good transition into outside zone 2 as well. Alan applying some pressure in that chase position. Falling back just a little bit, reeling Jordan back in. Jordan could have been a little bit deeper there in the middle of outside zone 3. We see a little bit of a tire drop there in outside zone 4, but fills 5 until he gives the wall a little touch there before crossing that finish line. So Alan's on the left, Jordan's on the right. Winner moves on into the top 16. And there it is, unanimous decision. Alan Hynes gets the win. We'll see him in the top 16.
I will give credit where credit's due. Good job to Jordan for, making it through into qualifying, through his qualifying run. Good for him. We move quickly into our next battle. Robert Kwieciński in the lead lane in that A90 Supra, getting chased down by Brett Wolford in the Mustang. They initiate in. Not as deep into outer zone 1 as that lead could have been, but Brett quickly answering back and pushing the Supra through all of outer zone 2, wanting that Supra to pick up the pace a little bit of Robert Kwieciński out front. Brett Wolford transitioning along the bumper through outer zone 4. Now they come down into outer zone 5. Robert doing a good job in that lead, and Brett just right there, almost wanting it to go a little quicker.
Yeah, really almost shoving him through the course. Let's take another look at it here on the replay. Graphic not quite updated, but that is Robert out front, filling outside zone 1 into zone 2, and now getting some taps from Brett Wolford in that chase position. Now heading into outside zone 3. Brett slowly reeling him in and staying with him through the back half of outside zone 3, filling 4 now, and now into the last and final outside zone, where Robert fills it nicely before crossing that finish line.
Well, now back around at the start, Brett Wolford now in that lead lane. Robert Kwieciński ready to chase him down. The lights come on, and the second half of this battle's underway. Brett initiates in. Right with him is Robert Kwieciński, though, as they come in through outer zone 1. Robert putting it right on the door through outer zone 1. No contact, all door, though, as they come through outer zone 2. Brett Wolford doing a good job up front, maybe slowing the Mustang down just a little bit too much as the lunge from that chase of Robert gets right up on the door. Brett transitions through 4, now into 5. And they get through 5 clean, but Brett taps that wall right near the end.
And here we go, back with the replay. This time Brett out front. Robert giving chase through the gate, burning those tires down, and a big initiation from that big Mustang out front of Brett Wolford. Robert right along that bumper through that first transition, sacrifices a little bit of angle to get back on the door of Brett, and then a big dive there, almost giving some contact, but I think he stayed off of me. A little wall tap there from Robert in that chase position as well, and then another big dive, nice and smooth in the outside zone 5 until the wall tap before crossing that finish line. Robert on the left, Brett Wolford on the right. Winner moves on to the top 16, our last and final battle here on the left-hand side of the bracket. And there it is, moving left, Robert Kwieciński getting the win. He moves on into the top 16, where he's got to face Alan Hynes. We'll pull up our bracket as we load in our next group of qualifying drivers. So our top right-hand side of the bracket, Tikon Polessky and Cameron Mustard, Luciano Carneiro and Masashi Yoshida, Ebanks and Ernestas Yakulevich, Stanislav Tarasov, and Brandon Gardner, all coming up next. Again, if you need to take some screenshots to stay along with us on that bracket, do so now.
It looks like our drivers are at the line in the lead, and now current leader in the championship after qualifying, Tikhon Polessky by 1 point over Alan Hynes in that lead position, that big BMW of his, up against Cameron Mustard in the R32 in that chase lane. And we're ready to start the left-hand side of this bracket. The lights go on and off they go. Tikhon initiates in, looking good, but Cameron on the attack from that chase. He flies up to the door of Tikhon. They transition into outer zone 2. Now down into 3. Cameron trying his best to stick onto the door of Tikhon Polessky. We know he's a robot, but that doesn't mean he can't falter as they come through outer zone 4, now into outer zone 5. Perfectly done around outer zone 5 by both drivers.
Just go back to the replay. Tikhon Polessky out front leading Cameron Mustard through the first half of their battle, initiating in as Tikhon filling outside zone 1 with Cameron Mustard right there on the door. Nice and smooth on the transition into outside zone 2. Cameron not letting up, staying right on the bumper, applying some more pressure into outside zone 3. And here they go into outside zone 4, filling it all the way as well, heading into 5 now. And Cameron right there with him, staying with Tikhon Polessky, but Tikhon on a burner for that lead run.
Back around at the start gate and flipped around. Cameron Mustard now in the lead lane. Tikhon Polessky ready to chase him down. The lights go on and the second half of this battle is underway. Initiating in, looking good off the initiation. Both of them initiating at the same time as they clear outer zone 1 down to outer zone 2. Tikhon slowly starting to get to the door of Cameron Mustard, just leaving that room for the transition, but now into outer zone 3. He's on the door of Cameron's car. They make the transition now through 4. And again, along the bumper into outer zone 5 and right up onto the wheel goes Tikhon Polessky to finish out the second half of this run.
Yeah, let's take another look here. Cameron out front here in the second half of this top 32 battle. Tikhon chasing him down. There they go through the gate. Big initiation from Cameron. And all of the track there filling outside zone 1, heading into 2 now, maybe just a tad bit late, but gets all the way out there to that track edge. Tikhon going for a dive there and matching the angle nicely through outside zone 3, staying with Cameron. Cameron getting away a little bit there in outside zone 4, heading into 5 now, and Tikhon slowly reeling him in. There they go across that finish line. My goodness, Cameron bringing the fight to Tikhon Polessky here in the top 32. Tikhon's on the left, Cameron's on the right. Winner moves on into the top 16. I could see this going to one more time too as well. What do you think, Tanner?
Yeah, I mean, it could really go either way. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that the judges are going to look at, but I mean, just looking at it on a surface level, both of them did fantastic, and to bring that kind of a fight to someone like Tikhon is no small feat. So I think if one more time gets called, I won't be mad at that decision, because it'd be great to watch Cameron come at him at full attack yet again.
Yeah, absolutely. Got a lot of Camerons in the chat. Can Cameron take home the victory over Tikhon? Beep boop Polessky.
Well, Tikhon needs this too for the championship. Alan Hynes already advanced on, which means he'll get more points. So Tikhon needs to advance as well. But Cameron definitely wants to deny that today and go, well, I have my own championship to worry about as well. I want to advance on. So it's literally anyone's game.
waiting on those sliders. Drivers are driving off, so they definitely have a decision here. We're just not quite seeing it yet. I know who it is, but I wonder why it's not sliding. Maybe we have some tentacles going on. Maybe Dion is back. They're switching. Carl took over for a moment, one of our judges.
The suspense.
Oh, there it is. Unanimous decision.
No
Cameron
way.
Mustard getting the win over Decon Polessky. Well done from Decon as well as always. But that's some championship implications there.
That definitely is. That is going to be huge depending on how far Alan makes it or how far Zach makes it. Zach isn't too far behind either in that championship fight. No one really is. So that was insane. Congratulations to Cameron for moving on up as we move on to our next battle. Luciano Carneiro in the lead lane up against Masashi Yoshida in the chase. Both in beamers, one's a wagon and the other one's out front as they come through outer zone 1 side by side, transition down into outer zone 2. Masashi's having to jump forward to regain the proximity that he lost through that transition. Now into outer zone 3 on that wall ride. Masashi's really able to put it on the door of Luciano. They come through outer zone 4 now. Someone dropping some tire there at 4, but pushing hard through outer zone 5 are both drivers to try and make it through.
Yeah, let's go back on the replay here. Luciano out front, getting chased down by Yoshida. This light illuminates and make their way through that gate. Fast run here. They initiate in, filling outside zone 1, but quite the angle bobble there out front from Luciano. Masashi as well in that chase, sacrificing a little bit of line and angle in that chase through outside zone 2, and then making that reel in through outside zone 3, maybe giving a little bit of contact there as well halfway through. So he drops back a little bit for these transitions in the Manji section, and Luciano filling that last and final outside zone before crossing the finish line.
Well, back around at the start gate, Masashi Yoshida now takes the lead lane. Luciano Carneiro ready to chase him down. The lights go on. The second half of this battle is underway. Who will go see Cameron Mustard in the top 16? Initiating in is Mastro with a super fast initiation and makes it work through all of outer zone 1. That puts Luciano on the back foot. He's got to sacrifice that angle to try and keep up with the speed that Masashi is holding here. As now they come through outer zone 3. Luciano's found that rhythm. He's on the door. They come through outer zone 4. They make that final transition into outer zone 5. Masashi really slows up, but that gives Luciano that chance to really get on the door before that finish line.
Yeah, let's take another look here on the second half of this battle. Yoshida out front. Luciano giving chase, initiating in, and tons of angle through outside zone 1. Momentum as well as he flies through it, heading into outside zone 2 now. A little bit ahead. Nicely done from Luciano in that chase position along the bumper. Heading into 3, now into 4, filling it all the way in that big wagon, heading into 5 now, picking up that throttle across the finish line. Tough one to call here. Once again, in the top 32, Luciano on the left, Masashi on the right. Definitely, I think worthy of another one more time, but I do think we have a decision here. Chris goes left. We do have a one more time from Ed there in the middle. Carl goes left as well. Luciano getting the win over Masashi Yoshida.
Well, big congrats to Luciano Carneiro. Moving on into the top 16. I'm going to be facing Cameron Mustard here in just a little bit as we move on to our next battle. Ebanks versus Ernestus Yakulevich. Wayne will be slotting into that lead lane. Ernestus will be chasing him down. Kind of wait for Ernestus to hopefully get to the line. There he is. Rushing around that corner. Wayne Ebanks in the R35. Ernestus in that A90 Supra. Both drivers now at the line. We're ready to continue this top 32 fight. As the lights illuminate, and off they go. Out of the gate, nice and clean down the straight, initiating in, maybe a little touch there from the chase of Ernestus as they come through outer zone 1, wheel to wheel and door to door, now through outer zone 2. Ernestus giving him no breathing room. Not a single mistake can be made with Ernestus on your door. Wayne's got to keep his mind focused as he comes through outer zone 4. Now down into outer zone 5. A tap, though, from the chase of Ernestus puts Kwieciński into the wall.
Yeah, it sure did. Let's take a second look here on the replay. Kwieciński out front. Ernestus giving chase here. And crazy proximity right off the rip from Ernestus in that chase position. Tucking his car into that big GTR out front. Nicely done here in outside zone 3. Kwieciński could be a little bit deeper there. Works his way to the outside. The back half of 3, and here's into 5. Yeah, looks like it gets the front end of Kwieciński's car. Sends that car into the wall. Unfortunate.
Well, now back around at the start gate for the second half of their battle. Ernestus Yakulevich now in that lead lane. Kwieciński Ebanks ready to chase him down. The lights go on, and the second half of this battle is underway. They leave the gate and head down the straight, initiating in. Looking good for Ernestus out front, maybe just a little too wide. He does pick up drops a tire right at the end of outer zone 1, but he makes the transition work for outer zone 2. Kwieciński just doing everything he can to keep that R35 on the door from the speed that Ernestus is carrying through this course. They come through outer zone 4, now down in outer zone 5, into the wall again goes Ernestus as they both finish out the second half of this run.
Yeah, unfortunate to see again, just sending it in maybe a little bit too hard. There is Ernestus out front. Kwieciński Ebanks giving chase here on the replay. The second half of their battle, initiating in, filling all of outside zone 1, maybe even dropping a little bit of tire there out front. The back half, Kwieciński maybe going off a little bit as well on 1, but they continue on into outside zone 3, filling it all the way. Ernestus doing a good job here with 4 as well. And here heading into 5, just getting into the wall just a tiny bit. And then crossing that finish line. We'll go to our judges once more here in the top 32. Kwieciński on the left, Ernestus on the right. And there it is, Kwieciński getting the win. Unanimous from all 3 of those judges, Chris, Ed, and Carl. We see the semaphore come back to the line. Maybe K just is back now. We had a power outage and got disconnected earlier. Chris took over, and it looks like he's back. Good to see him back. But next up, Stanislav and Brandon.
Well, at the line, in that lead lane, that is Stanislav Tarasov in that new Mercedes. It is a gorgeous car. Beautiful little thing. Beside him in the chase lane, Brandon Gardner in his BMW. The lights go on and off they go for the first half of their battle, initiating in, looking good for Stanislav out front. Lots of speed leading out of zone 1. That kind of put Brandon on the back foot, but he quickly regains that proximity coming through outer zone 2. Now the dive into outer zone 3, gets it up on the wall. Brandon starts to apply that pressure through that longer outer zone. Now the quick switchback into outer zone 4, then 5. And look at that, Stanislav doing everything he needs to do out front, but Brandon sticking with them.
Yeah, let's take a second look here on the replay. First half of their battle. Stanislav out front. Brandon Gardner giving chase. Good initiation from Mercedes out front filling outside zone 1. Brandon making quite the dive there into outside zone 2, staying with him right along the bumper there. Once more diving in into outside zone 3, maybe leaving a little bit too much room, but stays with him through 4 and heading into 5 now. Nice and smooth from the Merc out front, but Brandon's right there across that finish line.
Well, back around at the start gate. Brandon Gardner now in the lead lane. Stanislav Tarasov ready to go in his AMG GT. The lights go on and off they go for the second half of this battle. Who will go up against Ebanks in the top 16? Initiating in, looking good for Brandon out front. Tarasov maybe messing up the initiation just a little bit, but he makes up for it now that we're through outer zone 2. He's able to regain that proximity and get back on the door of Brandon Gardner as they come through outer zone 3. They leave it and transition into outer zone 4. Brandon's looking solid out front here, but Stanislav keeping it right on the door for most of that run.
Yeah, and Brandon being a bit hesitant into outside zone 5 as well. Let's take another look. Lights off through the chicane. Nice and smooth from both of these drivers, avoiding contact and initiating in as Brandon Gardner filling outside zone 1. Nicely done for outside zone 2 as well. Locked into that angle, but Stanislav right there applying some pressure and a good dive into outside zone 3. And good proximity all the way through it. Backs up for that transition into 4. Now heading into 5, and we see Brandon lack a little bit of angle there. He does end up filling that outside zone though. Let's go to our judges. Stanislav on the left, Brandon on the right. Winner moving on into the top 16. Last battle here in this group of the top 32 before moving on into our last and final group. So a split decision, but we are going to see him go one more time. Chris going with a one more time. Ed going left for Stanislav, and Carl choosing a one more time. So we'll line them back up.
Just wait for them to come around the corner. Stanislav Tarasov will lead one more time in that AMG GT. Brandon Gardner will chase him down in that E90 BMW. We're at the line and ready to start this one more time battle. Lights finally come on and off they go. One more time battle is now underway. Initiating in, Stanislav out front, Brandon Gardner in the chase. Brandon a lot closer this time around through outer zone 1. Now down into outer zone 2. Looking good through outer zone 2. Brandon with that good proximity in that chase, but a good lead here through that outer zone 3 from Stanislav out front. They transition now to outer zone 4. The lead there is Stanislav dropping some tire as they come now into outer zone 5, and they finish out on each other's bumpers.
Yeah, let's take a second look here. Stanislav out front the first half of their one more time battle. Brandon Gardner giving chase and initiating in. That big Merc filling outside zone 1 into zone 2 now. Brandon applying a little bit more pressure here this time in that chase position along that bumper, staying with him through outside zone 3. Here's that small tire drop from Stanislav out front, kicking up a little bit of dirt, using all of that rumble strip, and then filling outside zone 5.
Well, now back around at the start gate. Brandon Gardner now in the lead lane. Stanislav chasing him down. The lights go on in the second half of the one more time battle underway, initiating in right along the door. Oh, I thought there was going to be contact there into outer zone 1, but there wasn't. Now into outer zone 2, Stanislav along the door, trying to apply as much pressure as possible as they come into outer zone 3. Stanislav not moving an inch or giving Brandon any breathing room as they make the transition into outer zone 4, now down into 5. It is side-by-side, door-to-door finish for this one more time battle.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take another look here. Brandon Gardner out front this time in the second half of their one more time battle. Stanislav giving chase and doing a good job. in that chase position. Brandon nailing the lead run here as well, though, filling outside zone 1. Good angle as well. Transitions, filling outside zone 2, but can't shake Stanislav in that chase position. Right along the bumper and onto the door here in outside zone 3. All the way around, filling that zone. Nicely done for outside zone 4 as well, and super smooth in the outside zone 5 from Brandon. There they go across that finish line, door to door, and we go to our judges once more here in the top 32. Stanislav on the left, Brandon Gardner on the right. And a quick decision from all 3 of those judges, Chris, Ed, and Carl, going left for Stanislav Tarasov. We'll see him in the top 16. Here's our current top 32 battle or bracket as we load in our next group. So Cameron Mustard getting the win over T-Con Polessky. Luciano getting his win over Masashi Yoshida. They'll battle it out in the top 16. Ebanks also getting the win in his top 32 battle over Ernestas, and Stanislav winning his battle over Brandon Gardner. But up next, Austin Zaleski and Martinez Ostreika, Vladislav Yakulevich and Olivier Blais, Nico Stelea and Simon Sandman, and Daniel Andreev and Alexander Jagard, all up next here in the top 32.
Now at the line, our next battle in the top 32, Austin Zaleski in that lead lane in the Toyota Supra, being chased down by Martinez Ostreika in the BMW. The lights go on and the battle's underway. Initiating in. Looks good for Austin out front. A little weird initiation there for Martinez in that chase, but he makes it work, and now he's able to get up on the door through outer zone 2. They transition down to outer zone 3. Martinez really able to apply that pressure through outer zone 3, making the transition to 4, now down to 5. Bumper to bumper on those transitions, and good drive through outer zone 5 as they finish out the run.
Yeah, let's take another look here on the replay. First half of their top 32 battle. Austin Zaleski out front. Martinez giving chase and getting a little mixed up there on that initiation is Ostreika, but he gets it together quickly heading into outside zone 2 and stays with him really through the remainder of the course, staying with him through this outside zone 3. Austin locked in though out front as he transitions, fills outside zone 4, and it's smoothly done into outside zone 5, where Martinez is still right there in the fight.
Well, only one half of the story's been told. The second half about to unfold. Martinez Ostreika, I told you I would do it. Martinez Ostreika out front now with Austin Zaleski ready to chase him down. They initiate in. Big initiation there from Martinez, but Austin sticks right with them on the door through all of outer zone 1. They transition to outer zone 2, and look at the pressure being applied from that chase. They transition once more to the wall ride of outer zone 3. Austin slowly inching up to that door to try and apply as much pressure as possible while transitioning along the bumpers. Martinez doing a good job out front, but maybe over-rotating just a little bit into outer zone 5. Couldn't find the side bite to really drive it out of that corner. So let's see what the judges decide about that one.
Yeah, having to use quite a bit of left foot brake to hold that car in the zone. Look at, you made me even press the wrong button as they continue on filling outside zone 1. Austin applying some pressure though through that first outside zone and outside zone 2. A little bit of lag out front from Martinez as he transitions into outside zone 3. Austin can't be shook though as he stays with him right along that bumper. Nicely done into those last and final outside zone, but yeah, maybe a little bit too much angle. It's hard to tell. I mean, he made it work. But we'll go to our judges here. Austin Zaleski on the left, Martinez Ostreika on the right. And there it is. Looks like a unanimous decision from all 3 of those judges. Austin Zaleski getting the win over Martinez Ostreika will see him in the top 16.
Well, now at the start gate, the next battle to see who will go see Austin in the top 16. Vladislav Yakulevich in the lead lane in the BMW up against Olivier Blais. Olivier in the chase lane in that S14. They wait for those lights to ignite so this battle can get underway. Only 3 spots remaining in the top 16. The lights illuminate and on they go, and underway is this battle. Off the light, down the straight, initiating in is Vladislav. Good initiation, but right with him is Olivier as they come through outer zone 1, down into outer zone 2. Olivier putting on that pressure early through outer zone 2. Down the transition into outer zone 3. Vladislav tries to find a bit of room, which he manages to do, but Olivier not leaving room on the transition. They bump bumpers as they come into outer zone 5, and they tap again through outer zone 5, and then once more just to drive it home after the finish line.
Yeah, a little messy there as we take another look here. Vladislav out front, Olivier in that chase position. First half of their top 32 battle and initiating in. Filling outside zone 1. Good angle through it as well. Outside zone 2, Olivier right there on the bumper through that transition into outside zone 3 and pulling away a little bit is Vladislav, sacrificing a little bit of angle. We see a little bump there through that transition, and then another one there heading into that last and final outside zone.
Now back around at the start gate, Olivier now slots into that lead position. BMW of Vladislav will chase him down for the second half of this battle. The lights go on and off they go. Who will see Austin Zaleski in the top 16, initiating in. Good initiation for Olivier out front. Vladislav kind of backing out of it midway through to make sure he had room for that transition as they come through outer zone 2. Now into outer zone 3, that wall ride. Vladislav gets it up on the door, but Olivier with good angle through that whole outer zone. Now the quick transitions left and right through outer zone 4 and into outer zone 5. A clean end. And we'll see what the judges have to say about this.
Yeah, before that, let's take a second look on the replay. Olivier out front in the second half of their battle. Vladislav giving chase. They initiate in. Olivier filling outside zone 1 all the way to that track edge. Outside zone 2 as well. Good angle through it. Good transition across, getting away from Vladislav just a little bit, but Vladislav quickly reeling him in through outside zone 3. Nicely done for outside zone 4 as well. Good momentum heading into outside zone 5, and they work their way across that finish line. Good, clean battle there in the second half. Vladislav on the left, Olivier on the right. Winner moves on into the top 16 to face Austin Zaleski. And there it is, unanimous decision. Vladislav getting the win from all 3 of those judges due to that contact first half of the battle.
Yeah, good job indeed there to Vladislav, and like you said, that contact, that'll do it. And at this level, even the smallest amount, that could end your battle and send you home in the top 32. Now, to continue our top 32 reign, only 2 more battles to go. Starting with this one, Nico Stelea in the lead lane in that RX-7 FD up against Simon Sandman. They initiate in, and already Nico with a huge getaway as they transition into outer zone 2. Back on the back foot a little bit, there is Sandman trying to play catch up as they come into outer zone 3. Now he's able to start applying that pressure. Celia touches the wall just a little bit as they come through outer zone 4, down into outer zone 5 now. gets on the brakes, gets that RX-7 turned. A clean battle between these two.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take another look here. Nico out front, Simon giving chase, and look at there. I mean, just right out of the gate, Simon actually kind of caught napping there at the line. Quickly reels him in by the end of outside zone 2 there, but Nico on a heater of a lead run, planting that car into outside zone 3. And it actually looks like maybe a little bit of contact from the chase, sending Nico into that wall. There they go, filling outside zone 5. Interesting watching that on the replay.
Well, now back around at the start line, Simon Sandman spots into that lead lane. Nico Stelea ready to chase him down. The lights go on and off they go for the second half of this battle. Initiating in, look at Nico all over him, even from the initiation as they leave outer zone 1. He tries to find the right moment to transition, not to hit the bumper of Sandman. And now they come through outer zone 2, down into outer zone 3. Nico taking a little bit of a shallower line just to get right up on the door of Sandman as they transition through outer zone 4. Now down into 5. Nico really not leaving any room on those transitions left to right, and they finish out side by side.
Yeah, they sure do. Nico applying some pressure. Sandman on a pretty good lead run, though. Let's take another look at it. Simon initiating in, filling outside zone 1. Nico staying right there with him, right along the bumper through that first transition into outside zone 2. Next transition into outside zone 3, and Nico staying right there with him. The Sandman locked into outside zone 3. Good transition into 4, and then I thought he threw it away here heading into 5, but he makes it work. And there they go across that finish line. We go to our judges here once more in the top 32. Nico on the left, Simon on the right. Winner moves on into the top 16. And there it is, unanimous decision. Nico moving on into the top 16, where he'll face the winner of our last battle here in the top 32 coming up next.
Well, finally at the end of the top 32, the last battle before we move on into the top 16. Daniel Andreev in that lead lane up against Alexander Jagard in the chase. Come out of the gate and initiate in. Looking good off the initiation. Alexander Jagard already applying the pressure, but does make a bit of contact at the end of outer zone 1. Leaves the room for the transition into outer zone 2. Wheel to wheel as they make the transition down to the wall ride of outer zone 3. Alexander Jagard trying to get it as close to the door as he can, but a great lead run here from Daniel Andreev out front as they transition along the bumper. I thought that was contact, but they just got away with it as they finish out their run.
Yeah, made it work. Anyway, let's take another look on our replay here in the top 32. Last and final battle. Daniel leading Alexander through the first half of this battle, filling outside zone 1, but Alexander applying some pressure through it, sacrificing a little bit of line and angle there in that chase position for outside zone 2. Backs up maybe a little bit too much, but quickly reels him back in for outside zone 3. Stays with him through the remainder there, backing up a little bit for 4, and then right along the bumper heading into 5. Almost some contact there, but they make it work. Cross that finish line, we'll flip him around.
Well, back at the start gate, ready to go for the second half of their battle and the final battle of the top 32. Alexander Jagard now in the lead lane. Daniel Andreev chasing him down, initiating in. Almost looks like he didn't allow the initiation to happen, but a lot more angle from the lead driver than the chase. They come into outer zone 2. Now the chase is starting to match that angle. They come into outer zone 3, wheel to wheel, door to door. Matching that angle nicely now is Daniel in that chase, but loses ground on the first transition through outer zone 4. Then they come into outer zone 5, but a wall tap there from Alexander before finishing out this run.
Yeah, got a little messy there. Let's take a second look. Alexander Jagard out front, Daniel Andreev in that chase position. Second half of this top 32 battle. Initiating in is Alexander, filling outside zone 1. Tons of angle there, maybe catching Daniel out a little bit, heading into outside zone 3 now. Nicely done along that bumper, and a quick reel in from Daniel in that chase position, staying with him, and a little wall tap there, leaving outside zone 3, heading into 4 now, and another little wall tap from Alexander out front before crossing that finish line. We go to our judges. Daniel Andreev on the left, Alexander Jagard on the right. And there it is. It's going to be a unanimous decision. Daniel Andreev gets the win. Our last and final battle there in the top 32. We'll take a look at our bracket and see how it's played out before taking a small break. So take a screenshot if you need to. Vitaly Isaev getting the win. Moving on, he'll face Maxime Tinguy, Ethan Minnema, and Darius Ostreika, Zach O'Sullivan, and Yaroslav Veselaho, Alan Hynes and Robert Kwieciński, Cameron Mustard and Luciano Carneiro, Ebanks and Stanislav Tarasov, Austin Zaleski and Vladislav Yakulevich, Nico Stelea and Daniel Andreev, all coming up in the top 16. Again, we'll take a small little break here from our wonderful partners, and we'll be right back with the top 16 here for round 4 at the Bahrain International Circuit. All right, and we are back. This is, again, round 4 if you're just now joining us here at the Bahrain International Circuit. And we're heading into top 16. There is your top 16 bracket there. Again, Vitaly moving on, our number 1 qualifier, and he'll face Maxime Tinguy first. And we'll continue down the left-hand side of the bracket. So after that, Ethan Minnema and Darius Ostreika, Zach O'Sullivan and Yaroslav Veselaho, Alan Hynes and Robert Kwieciński all coming up here in the top 16.
An exciting top 16 indeed. At the line now, Vitaly Isaev in that lead lane up against Maxime Tinguy in the chase. 2 BMWs, 2 different chassis. Only one can advance on. The lights go on and off they go. Down the straight, initiating in is Vitaly, right with the Maxime Tinguy off that initiation. Losing out just a little bit through outer zone 1 was the chase. They come into outer zone 2. Maxime's starting to regain that proximity and bring the pressure to Vitaly as they come through outer zone 3 along that wall, door to door. They make the transition along the bumper and along the bumper again into outer zone 5. He gets back on the throttle. He starts pushing Vitaly through to that finish line.
Yeah, great start to this top 16 battle. Let's take another look at it here on our replay. Vitaly out front, Maxime giving chase. Big initiation, tons of angle really before initiating from Vitaly out front. Maxime doing a good job to deal with it though in that chase position, still applying pressure here, heading into outside zone 3, staying with him all the way through it. Bringing the fight into outside zone 4, into 5 now as well. Falls back just a little bit, picks up throttle to dart that car forward and apply some pressure before crossing the finish line.
Now back around at the start line, they're flipped around and ready for the second half of their top 16 battle. Gonna get things underway. Maxime now in the lead. Vitaly chasing him down, almost coming into contact with each other down the straight as they initiate into outer zone 1. Now into outer zone 2, Vitaly keeping that proximity nice and close as they come into outer zone 3. This is where Vitaly's going to push up and try and get right on that door of Maxime as they come out of outer zone 3 and make the transition on the bumpers into outer zone 5. This is where it gets sketchy, but these are pro drivers and they hold it all the way through like it was nothing.
Yeah, they certainly did. Let's take a second look here on our replay. This time Maxime out front, leading Vitaly through the second half of their top 16 battle here. Initiating in, Maxime filling that zone all the way to that track edge, but Vitaly applying some pressure in that chase position right along that bumper through both of those transitions. Maybe a little bit of contact, but they continue on, and Vitaly is applying some pressure in that chase position through outside zone 3, heading into 5 now, picking up that throttle, and there they go across that finish line. We'll go to our judges here. Vitaly on the left, Maxime Tinguy on the right. There it is, quick decision from all 3 of those judges, Chris, Ed, and Carl, moving left for Vitaly Isaev, and he'll move on into the top 8. Good start to a top 16.
Very good start indeed, and a good job from both those drivers. Maxime, we'll see you at the next round. Vitaly, congratulations on going one step closer. Next up, Ethan Minnema in the E36 BMW in that lead lane up against Darius Ostreika. The lights go on and off they go. Down the straight, initiating in. Darius trying to find him as close as possible off that initiation, door to door as they got sideways through outer zone 1. Left a little bit of room there through outer zone 2, but quickly regaining it through outer zone 3 on that transition, putting his door on Ethan's door. They transition now through outer zone 4, down to 5 along the bumper. Back on the door goes Darius Ostreika, giving him a little tap there too, just at the end.
Yeah, oh my goodness gracious, that initiation from Darius Ostreika in that chase position behind Ethan Minnema. Check this out, right along the door and stays with him, makes it work right along the bumper through the first transition, Little bobble there in that chase position from Darius Ostreika, but he makes it work staying with Ethan. Ethan on a really good lead line as well, filling outside zone 3-4 now as well, and smoothly done in outside zone 5, filling it all the way to the finish.
Now background at the start line. Darius Ostreika now will lead it out. Ethan Minnema will chase him down. The lights go on in the second half of this battle's underway. Down the straight. Ethan's got to bring the heat here off the initiation, and he does, but loses out on the angle as they come through outer zone 1. They leave outer zone 1 down into 2. Now Ethan's starting to go on the attack. Gets right up on the door as they exit outer zone 2 and back up on the door through outer zone 3. Darius keeping a good line here out front, but Ethan almost taking out that bumper on the both transitions as they come into outer zone 5, and Ethan plants it on that door till they cross the line.
Yeah, incredible battle between these two here in the top 16. Here's the second half of it on the replay. Darius Ostreika leading Ethan Minnema through the course here. Ethan playing with some fire there in that chase position along the run up, almost not leaving enough room. They continue on. Ethan applying some pressure now in that chase position right along the bumper through that transition into outside zone 3, staying with him through 4 as well. Applying some more pressure into outside zone 5. Look at there, right across that finish line, door to door. We go to our judges here. Ethan on the left, Darius on the right. Will we see him maybe go one more time, or do we have a winner between these two? Tough battle here in the top 16. Looks like we have a decision. Chris goes left for Ethan, and then we've got 2 one more times from Ed and Carl. So we're going to line them back up for a one more time here in the top 16.
Well, the top 16 already swinging with the battles. We already have our first one more time. We're going to line back up Ethan Minnema into that lead lane. Darius Ostreika will be chasing him down for the start of this one more time battle. Who will go on against Vitali in that top 8? Lights go on, and this one more time battle is underway. They get through the gate clean and initiate in. Darius right there with them as they come through outer zone 1, leaving just enough room for that transition into outer zone 2. Darius quickly gets back up on the door of Ethan as they come through down to outer zone 3. Darius leaving him no breathing room. Ethan's got to keep this 100% perfect as they come through outer zone 4. I thought he was going to take him out there, but he didn't. They get through 5 and they finish out side by side.
Yeah, incredible once more. Let's take another look here on the replay. Lights on. Ethan out front here. The first half of their one more time battle. Darius Ostreika going for that initiation and makes it work again. Applying some pressure into outside zone 2. Now reels him in quickly, but Ethan once more on a very good lead line. Good angle out front as well. Locked into outside zone 3. No waiver in that angle. Filling 4 as well, but Darius still right there along that door as they cross the finish line.
Back around at the start line. They're ready for the second half of their one more time battle. Darius Ostreika now leads it out. Ethan Minnema chases him down for the second time here. They leave the gate And they initiate in, and it's close for Ethan off of that initiation. Maybe even a little bit of contact coming through outer zone 1. Ethan throws it through outer zone 2 to keep that same proximity down into outer zone 3. These two are just insane with the way they are battling at the moment. They transition through 4, but Darius kicks up a bit of dirt. They get the cars slowed down for outer zone 5, and look at the way they finished out. This is wild, and it's not even the finals.
Yeah, just the top 16 here. Let's take another look. Second half of their one more time battle. Darius Ostreika out front. Good initiation. Doing what he needs to do out front. Ethan applying some pressure through that transition and onto the door of Darius into outside zone 2 and into 3, sacrificing just a little bit of angle there in that chase position, but he's got great proximity through these transitions. We see a little puff of dirt pop up in outside zone 4. They continue on across that finish line. We go to our judges once more between these two here in the top 16. Ethan on the left, Darius on the right. Do we have a winner, or are we going to see him go one more time again? What do you think, Tanner?
I mean, I would love to see these guys go at it one more time. I mean, you just keep going until a mistake is made, and so far these guys are barely wavering. There's a few things maybe here and there you're like, they could say, oh, the tire drop, that might be it. With the level that these guys are at, that tire drop could be everything with how good these guys have been driving. But it's all up to the judges. We just get to sit here and speculate and hope that, oh, they're moving.
Oh, they are moving. Split decision. Ethan gets the win. So Chris and Carl go left for Ethan, and Ed goes right for Darius. So wow, what a battle here in the top 16. Holy smokes.
Like I said, we're not judges. We can only speculate. But like I said, Darius had a tire drop. That's all it can take.
He did.
So Ethan Minnema goes on to see Vitaly in the top 8, and we have our next battle at the line. Zach O'Sullivan versus Yaroslav Veselaho. Zach in the lead lane in that E36 BMW, last year's virtual drift champion, up against the chase driver in that beautiful Mercedes. I got to figure out what class of Mercedes that one is. I can't tell from just looking at it. I thought CLA at first, but what did you say?
The big one.
The big one, the E-Class then. It'd be an E-Class. So, I think they're ready to get their top 16 battle underway. The lights go on. A good getaway there from Zach O'Sullivan, but we know how fast that E-Class Mercedes is. He initiates along the door through outer zone 1. Leaves quite a bit of room, though, for that transition into outer zone 2 and gives Zach a tap as they leave outer zone 2. And he loses that ground that he has to regain into outer zone 3 and tap Zach yet again as they transition into outer zone 4. Then down into outer zone 5. Zach's doing a great lead run here, but Yaroslav doing a pretty good job himself aside from those 2 points of contact.
Yeah, just rowing on down the river in the land yacht there in that chase position. Zach O'Sullivan out front. Looks like he got off to a good start there, but again, that big Mercedes in that chase position, throwing it onto the door of the smaller BMW, giving it a little bit of a tap there as well. As Zach continues on, heading into outside zone 3 now, filling it a little tap there once more from Yaroslav in that chase position, filling 4 now, heading into 5 and picking up throttle, filling 5. There they go across that finish line.
Well, now back around at the start line, ready to duke it out in the second half of the battle. Yaroslav will now lead things out. Zach O'Sullivan will chase him down. Lights go on, off they go. Down the straight, initiating in. Zach initiating right in with him. Maybe not as close on the initiation, but not really losing out as he keeps a good proximity and really gets up onto the door through outer zone 2 and now starts to apply that pressure, jumping up onto the door in outer zone 3. Leaving the room for the transition as they come through outer zone 4, now into 5. Zach matching that angle all the way through outer zone 5.
Yeah, doing a good job dealing with that super long car as we take another look at it here on the replay. Lights on. Yaroslav getting the boat through the chicane and into turn 1, filling outside zone 1 nicely. Zach backing up for the transition, making the dive into outside zone 2, having to back up for that second transition there into outside zone 3, and then quickly reels him in. Backing up once more for that next transition, and then closes the gap after each one of those transition crossing the finish line. Close battle here once more here in the top 16. Do we have another one more time?
I think there's enough to go off of here that the judges won't go one more time.
They did not. It's a unanimous decision. Zach O'Sullivan gets the win over Yaroslav. Great battle there in the top 16.
A very great battle indeed, and congrats to Zach O'Sullivan moving one step closer. And now we're on to the final battle for the right side of the bracket for our top 16. Alan Hynes in that lead lane in the Team Heinze RTR Mustang up against Robert Kwieciński in that A90 Supra. The lights go on and off they go. And Robert almost overtaking Alan off of that initiation. Wow, leaving no room for the transition. Robert is on a mission to show Alan, I'm here to win this. As they come into outer zone 3, Robert pushing as hard as he can to keep that A90 on the door of that big Mustang as they come through outer zone 4. And a tap of the brakes there from Alan Hynes through outer zone 4, but it sets him up good for outer zone 5, and they finish out the run side by side.
Yes, take a look on the replay here. Alan Hynes out front. Robert giving chase. As you pointed out, almost overtaking him. Ends up filling outside zone 1, and as you said, almost not leaving enough room for these transitions along the bumper of Alan Hynes out front. They're filling outside zone 3 now, 4. A little bit of left foot brake there from Alan, and then a little bit there into outside zone 5, filling it all the way to the end there. Good start to this battle.
Great start indeed, but now we're on to the second half, and only one can advance on to see Zach O'Sullivan in the top 8. Robert Kwieciński now in the lead lane. Alan Hynes ready to chase him down. Lights go on, and the second half of this battle's underway. Initiating in, looking good for Robert, but Alan diving up off that initiation to keep up with them through outer zone 1, leaving no room for error as he comes into outer zone 2, wheel to wheel. They leave outer zone 2, bumper to bumper transition into 3. Now on the door goes Alan Hynes. Robert doing a great job out front here, but they come into outer zone 4. This is where the transition gets a little spicy, but they stick with it and they finish off, maybe with trading some paint, but a good way to end this battle.
Yeah, let's take a look at the replay. Second half of their top 16 battle here. Robert out front, Alan giving chase. Flying down the straight is Robert, initiating in, filling outside zone 1. Alan right there with him along the bumper through the transition into outside zone 2 and 3. Nicely done from Robert out front, holding a good line. Could use a little bit of angle there in outside zone 3 though. He fills 4 and good angle into outside zone 5, filling it all the way, but Alan applying some pressure in that chase position. Do we have a winner here? Alan Hynes on the left, Robert on the right. Winner moves into the top 8. And we do. Unanimous decision. Alan Hynes gets the win over Robert Kwieciński. Robert putting up a good fight against Alan Hynes, though, here in the top 16. Oh, that's going to do it for the left-hand side of the bracket. Vitaly getting the win over Maxime Tinguy, moving on into the top 8. Ethan Minnema also earning the win over Darius Ostreika. Zach O'Sullivan also getting the win over Yaroslav, and Alan Hynes taking home the win over Robert. But up next, Cameron Mustard and Luciano Carneiro, Kuwait Ebanks and Stanislav Tarasov, Austin Zaleski and Vladislav Yakulevich, and Nico Stelea and Daniel Andreev.
Well, looks like our next battle is at the line for the second half of the top 16 bracket. Cameron Mustard in the chase lane in his R32. Then Luciano Carneiro in that BMW in the lead lane. The lights go on and this battle is underway. Initiating in, looking good off the initiation for Luciano up front. Cameron on a tear though as he gets right up on the door through outer zone 1. They make the transition and gets back on the door through outer zone 2, leaving a bit of room there for the transition into outer zone 3, but quickly regains that proximity to leave no breathing room between him and Luciano. They come through the quick switchback section to outer zone 4, now down into outer zone 5, where he gives them a little love tap just before the end.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's take another look at it here. Luciano out front, Cameron Mustard giving chase. Luciano initiating in right along that track edge through outside zone 1. Cameron Mustard not letting up though through that first transition. Backs up for the second and then quickly reels him in for outside zone 3. They work their way through it now. Luciano out front filling outside zone 4 and a good transition, nice and smooth into outside zone 5. Holds a lot of momentum, but Cameron right there with him, applying some pressure across the finish line.
Well, now back around at the start line. Cameron Mustard now in that lead lane. Luciano Carneiro ready to chase him down for the second half of this battle and claim yet one more spot in that top 8. The light goes on and off they go down the straight, lighting up the tires the whole way down. A fast initiation there from Cameron Mustard, but right on his door was Luciano Carneiro. He wants this win from that chase as they come through outer zone 2, down into outer zone 3. Luciano backs out of it quite a bit, then dives back up onto the door, maybe making a bit of contact there with Cameron Mustard. As we saw both cars kind of correct. They come through 4 and into 5, but a huge hit from Luciano into Cameron Mustard right at the end.
Yeah, maybe just sending it in a little too hard there. We'll take another look. Cameron out front, second half of their top 16 battle. Luciano giving chase. Nice and snappy on the initiation from Cameron. Luciano doing a really good job in that chase position. Does sacrifice quite a bit of angle there in that chase position, locking those fronts up. And then we see a small correction from Cameron out front there in outside zone 3, 4. Nicely done, and heading into outside zone 5. Both of them were really flying there. We saw Cameron really pour on the angle as well. So yeah, maybe judges taking their time here with this decision. They might review this contact. Maybe not. Maybe they see it clear. That's why we're on this side, Tanner.
Yeah, we get the easy
Stay away
job
from that nonsense. So there it is. Cameron Mustard is going to get the win. Unanimous decision from all 3 of those judges, Chris, Ed, and Carl, moving left for Cameron Mustard. But overall, solid battle there in the top 16, just coming down to that contact in the last and final outside zone.
Well, with that battle done, now we need to slot in another driver for the top 8. In your lead lane in the R35 is Ebanks. Facing him down in that AMG GT, that is going to be Stanislav Tarasov. The lights go on and off we go. 2 big body cars here duking it out at the round 4 of the Virtual Drift Championships. They initiate in. Good proximity from the chase there off of outer zone 1, but quickly gets up on the door through outer zone 2. Wayne doing a good job out front, sending it into outer zone 3. Could have maybe been a tad deeper into outer zone 3 at the beginning, but works his way out there. Stanislav keeping up that proximity, keeping that distance really close. He gives him a little love tap there just before the end of outer zone 5.
Absolutely. Let's take a second look here. Ebanks out front here in the first half of their battle. Stanislav Tarasov in that chase position, initiating in that big R35, filling outside zone 2 now. Nicely done from Stanislav, applying some pressure bumper to bumper through that second transition, filling outside zone 3 now, working all the way through it, filling 4 as well. Stanislav giving a tap before crossing that finish line.
Back around at the front, ready for the second half of this battle. Stanislav now in that lead lane. Kwieciński ready to chase him down. See who will go see Cameron Mustard in the top 8. The light goes on, off they go, lighting up the tires the whole way down, initiating in on the doors. Kwieciński, Ebanks, they come through outer zone 1. A little love tap there to the bumper as they come into outer zone 2. Still door to door. Little proximity, just leaving enough for that transition as they come into outer zone 3. Kwieciński losing a little bit of ground here, but the speed of Stanislav, who, not enough room for the transition. That's going to really hurt Kwieciński's battle here as he choked up on the transition and didn't allow Stanislav to make it fully.
Yeah, let's take another look here. Stanislav out front in the big Merc. Kwieciński giving chase in the big GTR. Working their way through outside zone 1, bumper to bumper into outside zone 2. Stanislav doing a good job out front. Sacrifice a little bit of angle there. Could be a little bit deeper on it in the outside zone 3, but Kwieciński staying with him. Yeah, an awkward situation there. Heading into outside zone 4. They continue on anyway. And we'll let the judges handle that one. So Kwieciński picks on the left. Stanislav Tarasov on the right. Winner moves on into the top 8. Yeah, I thought so. So, judges are going to go left for Kwieciński. Ebanks, he does get the win. We did see some contact there. I was sort of thinking to myself, it did look like a little bit of laggish. Maybe, yeah, Chris is already in here with us. What's up, Chris?
Yes, you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, so from us, we've got the drone again for judging purposes, which is brilliant. And yes, from what we can see pretty clearly from the drone angle is that Stanislav, right as you go to transition, his car just lags backwards about a couple of feet, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when we're dealing with the small margins that we deal with at this point, it is more than enough to cause a bit of contact. And as per the rules, and as per earlier decisions tonight, whoever lags will be deemed at fault. Stanislav lags from what we can all see. Therefore, Stanislav is at fault, and therefore, Kwieciński takes the win.
Yeah, unfortunate little lag hiccup there. I thought I saw it too as well on my screen. His car back up a little bit there, and then we see the contact where it almost, when the contact actually happened, like they sort of weren't even near each other. But we'll bring the next battle to the line.
And well, looks like they beat you to it at the line already. Austin Zaleski in the 80 Supra in the lead lane up against Vladislav Yakulevich in the BMW. The light's already on and the battle's quickly underway as they initiate in along the door side by side. Transitioning now to outer zone 2 along the bumper. It is looking good for both drivers so far. Another very close transition as they come into outer zone 3. He gets it on the door. Vladislav is pushing as hard as he can here. Austin, though, doing a great job in the lead as they come into outer zone 5. And Vladislav losing out a little bit of ground there. Maybe a contact against the wall just before the finish.
Yeah, some drivers drawing out of the angle there too, leaving that last and final outside zone before crossing the finish line. We'll take a look at it here on the replay. Good snappy initiation from Austin Zaleski out front. Vladislav doing a good job of dealing with it and staying with him. Backs up quite a bit there, a little bit awkwardly, leaving outside zone 2, heading into 3, but stays with him through outside zone 3. Austin filling outside zone 4. Here they go into 5. Yeah, really close there. Maybe a little tap on the wall.
Back around at the start line. Vladislav in the lead. And Austin ready to chase him down for the second half of this battle to fill one of the 2 spots remaining in the top 8, initiating in. Not as an aggressive initiation from Austin, but kept it tidy as he did wash out a little bit halfway through outside zone 1, but he makes up for it through outer zone 2. They transition down to 3, where now Austin's putting on that pressure. He's right on the door of Vladislav Yakulevich. They come through outer zone 4, transition along the bumper. He dives to get up on the door through outer zone 5, and that was some masterclass in driving right there.
Yeah, sure was. Let's take another look here. Austin giving chase. Vladislav leading through the course here, second half of the battle. Good initiation, big angle through outside zone 1 as well. Austin, huge dive into outside zone 2. Stays with him through that second transition, has to dial out of the angle a little bit to match Vladislav out front. Good transition to 4, filling that zone, heading into 5 now. Nicely done into outside zone 5 from both of those drivers. We go to our judges here in the top 16. Austin Zaleski on the left, Vladislav on the right. Yes, those asking about the bracket, it does have a very limited bandwidth on that bracket link, but we'll bring it up once more here shortly. We're on this battle here, Austin Zaleski and Vladislav Yakulevich, and then just one more battle here in the top 16, Nico Stelea and Daniel Andreev up next. They'll face the winner in the top 8 of this battle here. We've got a one more time. So Carl goes right for Vladislav, but a one more time from Chris and Ed. We're going to line them back up here in the top 16. Not quite, Taryn. I hope I'm saying that right. Stay tuned. Trailer coming soon. And it's going to be ridiculous.
Soon. So here we are back at the start line, ready for the one more time battle. Austin Zaleski in the lead lane. Vladislav Yakulevich ready to chase him down one more time. The lights go on and off they go. Let's see how this battle gets down. Initiating in. Look at Vladislav right there off the initiation. But he kind of pulls out of it a little early, but makes the transition work to get right back in the pocket there for outer zone 2. They transition to outer zone 3, and Vladislav is giving him absolutely no breathing room. Austin's got to keep it even and level here as they come through outer zone 4, down into 5. Look at that. Side by side, door to door. The little tap there. Oh, we got to pay attention to those because that could make or break any run.
I know, especially at this level and the way the drivers have been driving today. Austin Zaleski out front here on the replay. Vladislav giving chase and Vladislav going after it on that initiation. Makes it work. Follows him through into outside zone 2. Continuing to apply some pressure. Backs up for that second transition. Right back onto the door into outside zone 3. Maybe a small little tap there. Backs up for that transition into 4, into 5 now, staying with him. Nicely done from Austin out front as well, filling that zone across that finish line. My goodness.
My goodness indeed, and we still have another half to go of this one more time battle. Vladislav Yakulevich in the lead lane. Austin Zaleski ready to chase him down. One of them wants that spot in the top 8, but only one gets, both of them want it, but only one can advance. They initiate in, and look at the pressure from Austin right off that initiation. Way better than the first time around, and now he's all over the door of Vladislav as they come through outer zone 2. I thought they would have touched, but they didn't. They come into outer zone 3, and look at that, right along the door. He keeps having to back out of it as they come into outer zone 4. Quick transition, now dive to 5, get through that braking zone, and Austin sticking right there, if not closer than Vladislav was on his lead run or chase run.
Yeah, insanity. Let's take another look here. Vladislav out front in the second half of this one more time battle. Austin chasing him down. going after that initiation. Look at there. Putting that car just right along the bumper in the outside zone 2. You can't get any closer than that. Reels him in quickly for outside zone 3. Maybe a little bit of contact. Tough to tell. Flying through outside zone 4 now. Into 5. Austin right there across that finish line. Do we have a winner here in the top 16 between these two? Austin on the left, Vladislav on the right. It looks like we do. They're quickly moving right. Vladislav Yakulevich getting the win over Austin Zaleski here in the top 16. Yeah, battle of the day maybe? I don't know. That was crazy.
Maybe something to bring in for next year. We'll see.
Right? Maybe you have
that is
viewers vote. You know?
Yeah, that's true. Viewer voting, best battle of the day. Always a good thing to maybe keep in mind for future improvements as we come to our last battle of the top 16 before we move into the big part, the top 8 and all the way down to the finals. We have Nico Stelea in that lead lane in that FDRX7 up against Daniel Andreev in that BMW. Andreev not really leaving enough room for the transition. They made contact there before the initiation. They come through outer zone 1. Daniel Andreev on the attack. He's been right in the pocket as they leave outer zone 2 and come into outer zone 3. Daniel just keeping a nice distance there, right glued to the door, but not enough to maybe make a mistake. As they come through 4, now along the bumper into 5. Nico gets back on throttle, and Daniel is right there waiting for a mistake to happen.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's take a second look here. Nico Stelea out front, leading Daniel Andreev through the course here. Good initiation. Nice swing into outside zone 1, filling that outside zone all the way around. Daniel Andreev applying some pressure in that chase position, though, staying with him bumper to bumper into outside zone 3, right into the pocket of that teeny tiny RX-7 as they give the wall maybe a little tap. Filling outside zone 4, heading into 5 now, picking up that throttle and filling that zone.
Well, back around at the start, ready for the second half of their battle. Daniel Andreev now in the lead lane. Nico Stelea ready to chase him down. The lights go on. Who will take the last spot in the top 8? Initiating in. That was super aggressive there from Nico in the chase. Almost thought there was contact off of that initiation as well as they come through outer zone 2. Now down into outer zone 3. The FD, the tiny FD trying its hardest to stay right on the door of that big BMW through outer zone 4. Now down into 5. Into that braking zone. Nico putting on the pressure there from Daniel.
Yeah, let's go back to the replay here. Daniel Andreev out front, leading Nico through the second half of their top 16 battle. Last and final top 16 battle here. And look at Nico throwing it into the door of Daniel out front. Nicely done on the transition into outside zone 2 as well. Tucking underneath for outside zone 3. Staying right there with Daniel Andreev out front as he fills outside zone 3 and 4. Big transition across, almost dropping a tire there, picking up that throttle, and Nico right there with him, crossing that finish line. We'll go to our judges here. Last and final battle here in the top 16. Do we have a winner? Nico on the left, Daniel on the right.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like we have a decision. Chris going right. Ed and Carl thinking about it.
Better they've fallen
Marinating on
asleep.
it. And moving them up. Do we have a one more time between these two?
I wouldn't be mad about it one more time. Just, I would like to see it a little cleaner, but...
Ooh. Carl says, shut your mouth. Daniel Andreev getting the win. Chris and Carl moving right and moving left for Nico. What a battle there in the top 16 to finish out the top 16. We'll take a look at our top 16 bracket and how it played out. Again, if you'd like to take some screenshots, I'll pull up the top 8 bracket just after this as well. But Vitaly, Isaev, and Ethan Minnema, and Zach Sullivan and Alan Hynes up next. Cameron Mustard and Kwieciński Ebanks, Vladislav Yakulevich, and Daniel Andreev all moving on into the top 8. So there we are, our top 8 bracket for round 4. Again, up next, Vitaly Isaev and Ethan Minnema. Take your screenshots if needed. Waiting on one of our drivers to connect to the server. We have our drivers at the line, ready to go.
Here we go. The top 8. We're into the nitty-gritty of it now. Vitaly Isaev, our number 1 qualifier, up against Ethan Minnema in that chase position, initiating in. Ethan with a super aggressive initiation, almost touching that rear bumper of Vitaly through outer zone 1. Now into outer zone 2. Ethan is all over Vitaly as they come into outer zone 3. Not as much angle from Ethan, but starting to match it now that they get to the end of the outer zone 3. Through outer zone 4, transitioning along the bumper into outer zone 5. Ethan takes a slightly safer approach, but they still finish side by side.
Let's take another look on the replay. Our first battle here in the top 8. Vitaly out front. Ethan giving chase and going after it in outside zone 1, but gets left behind a little bit by Vitaly. Our number 1 qualifier filling outside zone 2 as well. Ethan now applying some pressure into outside zone 3, staying with him, staying in that pocket. Nicely done on the transition into outside zone 4 into 5 as well. Drops back a little bit, reels him back in, and there they go, finishing out the first half of their battle.
Now they're back around for the second half of the battle. Let's see who will be the first to take one of the few spots remaining in the top 4. Ethan Minnema now in the lead lane. Vitaly Isaev chasing him down. The lights go on, and the second half of this battle is underway. Lighting up the tires all the way down, initiating into outer zone 1. Dropping up the tire was Ethan Minnema, but Isaev not as close to outer zone 1 this time around. from Ethan's chase as they come through outer zone 2, now down into 3. There's Vitaly starting to get on that door, starting to apply that pressure as they come out of outer zone 3. Leaves a lot of room for the transition into outer zone 4 and down into 5, but Ethan goes into the wall. Ethan bounces off the wall, bounces off Vitaly, and ends the run.
Yeah, maybe throwing it away there. Let's take another look. Ethan out front in the second half of their top 8 battle. Vitaly giving chase. Ethan initiating in, filling outside zone 1, heading into 2 now, filling it as well. Vitaly applying some pressure there in that chase position. Nicely done into outside zone 3. We see a small, slight angle correction out front. Vitaly dropping back in that chase position for 4, and here they are into 5 and just stuffing the bumper into that outside zone 5 wall. Unfortunate to see, but we go to our judges. Vitaly on the left, Ethan on the right. Winner will move on into the top 4. There they go, sliding left. Vitaly getting the win after Ethan puts it into the wall in that last and final outside zone.
Well, Vitaly moving on to one of the 4 spots remaining. We have our next battle at the line, and kind of a heavy battle here due to the championship points, as now Alan would be in the lead. But depending on how this goes, Zach could jump the lead as well. So, at the line, in the lead lane, Zach O'Sullivan in the E36 Mustang up against the Team Hynes, the RTR Mustang of Alan Hynes. They leave the start line, head down and initiate in. Side by side through outer zone 1, leaving some good room there for that transition into outer zone 2. Hynes pushes back up into the pocket to apply that pressure, but doesn't really get up on the door till about near the end there of outer zone 3. They transition to outer zone 4, leaving quite a bit of room there for the transition from the chase, but definitely tries to apply that pressure through outer zone 5.
Yeah, exciting start to this top 8 battle. Big championship implications here with Zach out front leading Alan Hynes through the first half of their battle. Nicely done for outside zone 1. Alan right there along that bumper through the transition into outside zone 2. Applying a bit of pressure here heading into outside zone 3. Zach nice and smooth out front. Locked into his lead line and angle here. Filling 4, heading into 5, has to pick up throttle a little early there, and across that finish line.
Well, now ready for the second half of this battle. Alan Hynes slots into the lead lane. Zach O'Sullivan ready to chase him down to see who can take one of those 3 spots remaining. The lights go on and down the straight they come, initiating in. Looking good off the initiation. Zach putting on pressure through outer zone 1. They make the transition work into outer zone 2. Zach just trying to get a little bit closer to Alan Hynes there as they come into outer zone 3. And there's Zach right up on the door of Alan Hynes, almost pushing him through outer zone 3. Leaves enough room for that transition. Transitions along the bumper through outer zone 4, down in 5. Backs off quite a bit for outer zone 5 though. And they finish out the run nose to tail.
Let's check out the replay for the second half here. Alan Hynes out front, Zach O'Sullivan giving chase through that chicane and going for the big flick initiation as Alan Hynes, and makes it work, filling outside zone 1 into 2 now, almost a little bit late there. Zach O'Sullivan applying some pressure, reeling him in quickly for outside zone 3 and staying with him a little bit on the inside there. That bigger Mustang filling outside zone 4 now. Nicely done for outside zone 5, and there they go across that finish line. We go to our judges here in the top 8. Zach on the left, Alan Hynes on the right. Winner moves on into the top 4. Ed moving right for Alan Hynes. Chris also moving right. Carl moving right as well. Unanimous decision. Alan Hynes gets the win over Sacco Sullivan, who moves on into the final 4.
Well, the plot thickens as we move on to our next battle. Maybe let's try this again. The plot thickens and we move on to, yeah, there we go. We move on to our next battle. Cameron Mustard versus Ebanks. Ebanks in the R35 will lead run number 1, and Cameron Mustard, R32 Mustang, will chase him down. The lights go on and off they go down the straight. Initiating in, looking good off the initiation. Cameron Mustard right beside Ebanks, washing out just a little bit though through in outside zone 1 as they transition into outer zone 2 along the bumper to Ebanks into outer zone 3. Cameron Mustard is giving him no breathing room here as they transition into outer zone 4. Now down into 5. It comes down to this. Someone hit the wall there. I wasn't sure who. That'll be up to the replay to figure out what happened at the end.
Yeah, interesting there in that last and final outside zone. We'll take another look. Ebanks out front leading Cameron Mustard in that R32. R35 versus R32 and filling outside zone 1. Nicely done in the outside zone 2 as well. Cameron applying some pressure right along that bumper heading into outside zone 3 now. I thought he was going to stuff it in the wall. Quayne could have maybe been a little bit deeper in outside zone 3. Fills 4 and here we go. Yeah, it actually looks like Quayne gets into the wall first. Very early into that last and final outside zone. Tough one to see there. Judges might review.
Well, while they do that, we have a second half of the battle to get done. Wayne now will be chasing Cameron Mustard, who's now in the lead. Only 2 spots remain, and only one of these guys can move forward. The lights go on, and off they go. Down the straight, initiating in. Looking good off the initiation with Cameron Mustard. Ebanks not as close in the chase this time through outer zone 1 as Cameron was in his chase. They come through outer zone 2 and a little conservative. Quayne is trying to get up on the door to Cameron Mustard, but can't really get there as they come across each other's bumpers for outer zone 4. Now back down to outer zone 5. No contact with the wall this time, but definitely playing it safe maybe, Quayne. Maybe Quayne thinks that contact wasn't his fault.
Maybe, I mean, it could very much so be. Cameron Mustard here out front in the second half of the battle, watching on the replay now, filling outside zone 1, heading into 2 now, right along that track edge. Quayne trying to apply some pressure, maybe over angles there before heading into outside zone 3, but quickly reels him in, tries to stay with him through outside zone 3, bumper to bumper through that transition. Here we go into 5. Cameron, nicely done in that zone, winds out of the angle maybe a little bit early, but we go to our judges. Cameron on the left, Ebanks on the right. Winner moves on into the final 4.
I think it's all going to come down to that contact in the first run and what really happened there. And once they figure that out, I think we'll see these sliders move one way or the other.
Yeah, it's really tough to see there. It's super duper close. We do have Pontus running the drone for those judges on a unlisted private stream for them to see, so we work to get that implemented the correct way on our stream. And they can join those replays while being online as well, not having to leave the server at all. It just pops you right on into the replay. They can check it out there.
Oh,
look at there. Oh. My goodness. Ebanks getting the win over Cameron Mustard and ending Cameron's day short. But Cameron, my goodness, I mean, fought all the way through the last 16 battles, took down T-Con Polessky, the robot himself, and finds his night getting cut short here by Ebanks. Great battle between those two.
Great job indeed from Kwieciński. Moving on forward. One spot remains here in the from the top 8. Only one gets to move on. Daniel Andreev in the lead position up against Vladislav Yakulevich. The lights go on and off they go. Initiating in, a little bit of contact there off the initiation from Vladislav to Daniel as they transition out of outer zone 1. They were wheel to wheel through all of outer zone 1. Little bit of a gap though through outer zone 2, but a quick recovery from Vladislav as he gets back up on the door of Daniel Andreev. They leave outer zone 3, but a shunt from the chase through outer zone 4. Vladislav hits the back of Daniel, so we'll see how that pans out for who moves on.
Yeah, let's take a second look here on the replay. Daniel Andreev out front initiating in. Vladislav applying some pressure. Look at there, bumper to bumper through that transition, filling outside zone 2. Once more there, heading into outside zone 3. Staying with him through it as well. Daniel filling that zone all the way around. There we have some contact, kind of shooting Daniel forward. He deals with it nicely though. They continue on and finish the first half of their battle.
Well, now on to the second half. Vladislav will now lead this out. Daniel will chase him down. Lights go on, and the second half of this battle is underway. One spot remains in the finals. Or in the top 4, sorry. Initiating in is Vladislav with a good initiation. Daniel a little further behind through outer zone 1 when we look at chase to chase, but coming through outer zone 2, Daniel starts to regain that proximity and starts to get up on the door, but Yakulevich flying out there in his BMW as they leave outer zone 3 down into outer zone 4 and now into outer zone 5. Daniel puts it back on the door and they finish out the run side by side.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's take another look here. Second half of their battle. Vladislav out front. Daniel giving chase here in the top 8, initiating in. Holding good momentum through outside zone 1. Daniel applying some pressure in that chase position through that first transition. Second one as well. Makes a dive there into outside zone 3. Vladislav pulling away a little bit, but then Daniel reeling him back in. A little tug of war through that big outside zone, and then nicely done for outside zone 5. Nice and smooth there from Vladislav out front, and we'll go to our judges last time here in the top 8 before moving on into the final 4. Chris goes right for Daniel Andreev. One more time from Ed. And Carl goes right for Daniel Andreev. Daniel Andreev moves forward into the final 4 where he'll face Kwieciński. So we'll take a look at our bracket before moving on into the top 4. Vitaly Isaev and Alan Hynes, Ebanks, and Daniel Andreev all moving on into the top 4. And there it is. Top 4 to finals bracket. Vitaly Isaev and Alan Hynes up next. Take your screenshots now if you need.
So, our next battle at the line. This is the top 4 to the finals. First battle up, Vitaly Isaev, our number 1 qualifier for today, and has been on fire all day up against the number 5 qualifier of the Team Hynes, the RTR Mustang, Alan Hynes. Initiating in is Vitaly. Look at that, side by side off the initiation. But a little bit of washing out there from Alan through outer zone 1. He gets on the door through outer zone 2, leaves enough room for the transition into outer zone 3 and starts to put the pressure on halfway through it. They leave outer zone 3, start to drive towards outer zone 4, transitioning along the bumpers, now into the decel zone, back on throttle. They finish out side by side.
Wow. What a start to this top 4. Vitaly out front, leading Alan Hynes here on the replay. First half of their battle. And a big swing initiation from Vitaly out front, filling outside zone 1. Allen right there along that bumper through the first transition and along the door in outside zone 2. Reels him in quickly for outside zone 3 as well. Locked into that pocket of Vitaly out front, filling 4. And now 5. Nice and smooth into outside zone 5 out front is Vitaly. And there they go across the finish line for the first half of their battle.
Now ready for the second half of the battle. Alan Hynes will now lead. Vitaly will chase him down. Initiating in. Alan Hynes out front, leaving behind Vitaly a little bit there through outer zone 1. Vitaly regains that proximity through outer zone 2, though. Starts to put it in the pocket. They transition into outer zone 3. Now Vitaly on the attack, putting it on the door of Alan Hynes. Alan Hynes has got to keep it nice and smooth here as they transition. He kicks up some dirt, though, into outer zone 4. Vitaly hasn't left that door since he found it, and they finish out this run.
Yeah, reeled him in quickly and then didn't let him go. Let's take another look at it here. Alan Hynes out front, leading Vitaly through the course in the second half of their top 4 battle. Great initiation from Alan, getting away a little bit out front, and then big dive from Vitaly along the bumper through that first transition. Second one as well. And then sticks with him through this outside zone 3. Allen filling that zone all the way out there to that wall. Again, as you pointed out, we see a little kick of dirt there, filling outside zone 5. Vitaly right there with Allen as they cross that finish line, and we go to our judges here in the top 4. Vitaly on the left, Alan Hynes on the right. Which one will move on into the finals? Which one will go to the third place battle? Will it be Vitaly? Will it be Allen? Will we have a one more time? We have got a one more time from Chris.
Whoa.
One more time, all the way down the middle. We're going to line them back up here in the top 4.
Well, one more time to get into the finals of round 4 of the Virtual Drift Championships. We line them back up one more time. Isaev now back in the lead. Alan Hynes ready to chase him down again. They wait for the lights, patiently waiting. The lights go on and off they go for their one more time battle. Vitaly initiates in. Alan Hynes right there with them as they come through outer zone 1. No washing out this time for Alan Hynes. They come into outer zone 2. Right on the door is Alan Hynes. They transition down to outer zone 3. Alan Hynes backs off but quickly regains that proximity as they come out of outer zone 3. Transitioning along the bumper through outer zone 4. One more transition into the decel zone. Both drivers keep it together. Maybe some contact there from Alan Hynes, but just a little bit into Vitaly as they finish out that run.
Yeah, kind of leaned on him there in that last and final outside zone. We'll take another look at it here. Vitaly out front, leading Alan Hynes through the course. The first half of their one more time battle. Allen applying some pressure right off the initiation and staying with him through that first transition, through outside zone 2 into outside zone 3. Now we see the little dive there from Alan Hynes, sticking with him, almost pushing him through outside zone 3. Nicely done from Vitaly out front into outside zone 5. Now picking up that throttle. There they go across the finish line. My goodness.
And like I've said this whole event, we're not even at the finals yet. So here we go with the second half of the one more time battle. Alan Hynes now leads it out. Vitaly Isaev chases him down. The lights go on and off they go, lighting up the tires all the way down, initiating in, looking good off the initiation. Vitaly on the attack through outer zone 1. They transition along the bumper, and Vitaly leaving no room through outer zone 2. Again on the bumper, he leaves a bit of room and putting it right on the door of Alan Hynes. Alan Hynes doing a wonderful job out front. Hopefully he doesn't drop a tire. This time he does not. They transition to the decel zone. Now back on throttle, side by side. They finish out the run. Woo!
Yeah, insanity. Let's take another look here. Alan Hynes out front. Vitaly giving chase. Graphic a little bit backwards there, but we know who they are. Alan entering in, filling outside zone 1. Vitaly dropping back a little bit there in outside zone 1, but quickly right back onto the door of Alan Hynes in outside zone 2. Now 3 staying there with him. Stuck to that door through outside zone 3, heading into 4 now. No tire drop, I don't think this time, and into 5. Crossing that finish line, we go to our judges once more. Vitaly on the left, Alan on the right. Do we have a winner? We're gonna have to send these guys again.
I don't think we had a rule in the rule book for how many one more times
we need to chill out, dude.
Let's do it again.
And come up with a winner.
I think they just gave up and they walked out.
Right, they said, you know what? We're done.
Like, we're going to the pub. We're gone. I mean, if anything, the one more time made it harder for them to call. Because
it was not any better.
It was, but it was better in the sense of, yes, they cleaned it up, but it also, they were
both
so
did.
much more on it. You can tell Vitaly wants it. We look back at his history, right? He's gotten a top 16. He's gotten a grade 8. He's coming fourth. He is itching for his first VDC win, and it's so close in front of him. So he's putting all his effort into each battle he's been doing today to go from #1 qualifier to winner. That's a huge deal. But Alan, he's thinking about that championship. If he can put more distance between him and everyone else, well, that's a big win for him, especially for being in a new chassis this season.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah. Let's see if we get the graphic to slide here. And there it is. So, yeah, Carl going right for Alan Hynes, and then we've got one more times from Chris and Ed, and we're going to line them up again here in the top 4.
All right. Nothing's better than a double one more time, especially again at this level. It makes it so great that even these guys are stumping the judges, and we all know how critical these judges are. So they're getting stumped. They need to see it again. We want to run it again. Let's see what happens. Alan Hynes back in the chase position. Vitaly Isaev ready to go in that lead lane. This is the one more time battle. Try to decide who goes into the finals, who goes into the third place matchup. The light goes on. They are off. They initiate in. It's looking good. Look how close Alan was on the wheel through that initiation through outer zone 1. He left some room in the transition, though. Quickly got back up onto the door of Vitaly Isaev as they come back into outer zone 3. A washout there for Alan Hynes and a little bit of contact coming into out of outer zone 3. They transition through 4. They come into the decel zone. All is smooth sailing here. Alan is on the door, but a couple little mistakes through that run.
Yeah, a little here and there. Alan looking like he was on kill mode as we take another look here on the replay. Vitaly out front, good swing into outside zone 1, but Alan right there applying some pressure, maybe a little bit of contact there through the transition into outside zone 2, backs up for that next transition heading into outside zone 3, quickly reels him in, maybe a small little tap there from that chase position. Vitaly filling outside zone 4, now 5 heading into it, picking up that throttle, and Alan right there with him across that finish line.
Well, will there be a decision? We don't want Kwieciński and Daniel to fall asleep, but this is entertaining. This is awesome. As we have Alan Hynes back in the lead lane. Vitaly Isaev chasing him down for the one more time battle. The lights go on. They light up the tires all the way down. Maybe some contact there on the initiation. That was really close, but they get through outer zone 1 clean. Vitaly on the attack, putting it as close to the door to Alan Hynes as they can get. They come into outer zone 3, and there it is, right up on the door now. A little touch there out of outer zone 3 from Vitaly in that chase position. They come through outer zone 4, down into the decel zone. Into the wall goes Alan Hynes, but it doesn't affect the run all too much, and now the judges have something to judge.
Yeah, I don't even know how he got away with that one. Let's take another look here. Alan out front. The second half of the one more time. Initiating in, filling outside zone 1. Nicely done for that transition. Vitaly applying some pressure. Bumper to bumper once more. Quickly reeling Alan in. Filling outside zone 3 as well. 4. Staying right there with him. There we see that small little tap. I mean, he makes it work, finishes the run. But my goodness, do we have a winner here in the top 4? Vitaly on the left, Alan on the right. Winner moves on into the finals. And there it is. They're quickly going left. Vitaly getting the win over Alan Hynes. Alan, we'll see him in the third place battle, but Vitaly moves on into the finals, one step closer to a perfect event for Vitaly.
Vitaly. On fire right now, and one step closer. But who's going to see him? We're going to see Alan again. We still have a third place matchup, but we got to see who's going to go up against Vitaly as well. Will it be Kwieciński Ebanks? Will it be Daniel Andreev? I told you we took too long. They fell asleep.
No, Chris, just explaining it there in Discord for those drivers.
Gotcha. There we go. Now their cars are moving. So, Kwieciński Ebanks, I believe, has fought since the last 16 to be here in the top 4. Seventh. I can read some days. But either which way, Kwieciński in the R35 in that lead position up against Daniel Andreev in his BMW in that chase lane to see who moves into the finals, who goes into that top 3 matchup. They wait to see those lights ignite, and solid they go. That means this battle is underway. Down the straight, initiating in. Looking good off the initiation. Daniel taking a pretty good approach to it as well in that chase position. Now really applying the pressure onto Kwieciński as he basically was on the door all of outer zone 2. They come into outer zone 3, and now Daniel putting that pressure on. Kwieciński trying to find that rhythm. Doesn't fill outer zone 4 as much as he could have, but Daniel picks up on it and stays right with them to the end.
Yeah, interesting there. Let's take another look. First half of this battle between these two. Kwieciński, Ebanks out front, getting through that chicane. Daniel applying some pressure right off the rip. Through outside zone 1, backs up for the transition, and then they're throwing it onto the door of Kwieciński. Ebanks out front. Nicely done for outside zone 3 as well. Kwieciński making his transition, yeah, really kind of held on to the line there, leaving outside zone 3. I think that what is kind of set him up for that awkward line across outside zone 4.
Well, back around at the start gate, Daniel now in the lead position. Kwieciński ready to chase him down for the second half of this battle. One goes on to see Alan Hynes, one goes to the final to see Vitaly Isaev. The lights go solid and off they go. Initiating it is Daniel. Right with him is Kwieciński Ebanks. So Daniel manages to pull away just a little bit through outer zone 1, but Kwieciński answers back through outer zone 2. Not quite as close as the chase of Daniel, but he's making ground. So they come into outer zone 3, and now Kwieciński's starting to get on that door. They transition along the bumper through outer zone 4. Not leaving enough room for the transition was Kwieciński there. Almost held up Daniel, but they finish out the run side by side.
Yeah, nicely done. Let's take another look here. Second half of our last top 4 battle. Kwieciński chasing Daniel Andreev through the course here. Great initiation, nice and early from Daniel, filling outside zone 1, heading into zone 2 now, filling it all the way out to that trek edge. Kwieciński trying to apply some more pressure here, sacrificing a little bit of angle in outside zone 3 to stay with him. Nicely done for outside zone 4. Snappy transition into 5, filling it all the way and across that finish line. Nicely done there from Daniel Andreev out front, as well as Kwieciński in that chase position. Kwieciński on the left, Daniel on the right. Do we have a decision here in the top 4? Who will move on into the finals to face Vitaly, who's on a roll? Like we have a decision here. Chris goes one more time. Carl goes left. Ed goes one more time as well. We're lining them back up again here in the top 4.
Well, another one more time here in the top 4. Allie and Alan have to sit patiently while these two duke it out yet again. Kwieciński Ebanks will slot back into the lead position. Daniel Andreev will chase him down for this one more time battle. They wait patiently for those lights. The lights start to go on, and solid they go. One more time battle is underway. Wayne getting down the straight, initiating in. Very quick initiation, but look at Daniel right along the door through all of outer zone 1, almost pushing him through it. He backs off a little bit for outer zone 2. Transitions along the bumper, pushing Kwieciński through outer zone 3. He wants him to go faster. He said, let's lay it all out on the line. They transition through 4, now into 5. And look at that, another tap, though, from Daniel right at the end.
Yeah, there sure was. Let's take another look at it here on the replay. Kwieciński out front in the first half of this one more time battle here in the top 4. Daniel giving chase, going after it through that initiation. Kwieciński sacrificing a little bit of that line in outside zone 1. Could have been a little bit deeper. There we see the dive from Daniel Andreev in that chase position right along the door. Stays with him through outside zone 3 into 4. Now much better from Kwieciński out front as he settles into outside zone 5. And then, yeah, maybe a little bit of tap there crossing the finish line.
Now back around at the start line, ready for the second half of their one more time battle. The lights illuminate. Daniel will now lead. Kwieciński will chase him down to see who will go to see Vitaly, who will see Alan. They initiate in, looking good. Look at the aggression from Kwieciński. Not quite matching the angle, but still right on the door through outer zone 1 as he moves out a little bit through outer zone 2, but he leaves a lot of room for that transition into outer zone 3. Daniel doing a good job out front. Kwieciński starting to regain that proximity as they come through outer zone 4. Now back into outer zone 5. They're side by side, door to door to finish out this run.
Well, let's take another look. Second half of the one more time battle here. Daniel out front leading Kwieciński through this course here. Another great initiation from Daniel, filling outside zone 1 right along the bumper. Into outside zone 2 is Kwieciński. Nicely done, heading into 3 now, reeling him in quickly. Daniel locked into that line and angle for outside zone 3, into 4, into 5 now. Nicely done, picking up that throttle, but Kwieciński right there with him, crossing that finish line. We go to our judges for a decision. Kwieciński, Ebanks on the left, Daniel Andreev on the right. Looks like we have a quick decision. Chris goes right. Ed goes right as well. Carl goes right. Unanimous decision. Daniel Andreev getting the win over Kwieciński, Ebanks, and moving on to the finals. But the night isn't over for Kwieciński.
No,
it's third place battle. Yeah.
We're going to line them back up right away here. The wait is over for Alan Hynes. He finally gets to slot into that lead position for the third place matchup. Kwieciński, Ebanks hoping to maybe take home third place, but so is Alan Hynes. Kwieciński will be chasing him down. They wait for those lights to go on, and our third place matchup is underway. Down the straight they come, initiating in, looking good off the initiation. Kwieciński, Ebanks falling behind out of outer zone 1, but quickly makes up for it off the transition into outer zone 2. Now down in outer zone 3, Alan pulls away from him a little bit, but he's back up to the door of Alan Hynes, trying to keep up with the speed of that Mustang. They cross across the bumpers through outer zone 4. Once more into the D-cell zone. Now Kwieciński almost pushing Alan Hynes through to the finish.
Yeah, incredible start to this third place battle. Alan Hynes out front here on the replay. Kwieciński giving chase, coming right off his top 4 battle. Alan initiating in and getting away from that GTR. But Kwieciński right there along the bumper through that first transition. Reeling him in quickly for outside zone 3 as well. Alan continuing on a very good line. Good angle through outside zone 4 as well. Heading into 5, good momentum, picking that throttle up, and look at there, getting pushed across the line from Kwieciński.
Well, now back around at the start gate. Kwieciński, Ebanks now in the lead. Alan Hynes ready to chase him down. The lights go on, and the second half of this battle's underway. Who takes home third place? Down the straight, lighting the tires up all the way down, initiating, and Alan Hynes is all over him, but does make some contact there through outer zone 1 and a little bit on the transition. Alan Hynes has to throw a bit more angle at it just to not hit the side of Ebanks. They come into outer zone 3 now. All over the door of Kwieciński is Alan Hynes. They come into outer zone 4. Now down into outer zone 5, still wheel to wheel and door to door. Alan Hynes goes a lot deeper, maybe even touching the wall there. But we'll see what the judges have to say about that one.
Yeah, let's take a second look on the replay here. Ebanks out front, leading Alan Hynes through the course in the second half. The third place battle winner takes home third. Kwieciński initiating in, and look at the pressure being applied from Alan Hynes in that chase position. Maybe a little contact in outside zone 1 right along the bumper through those first 2 transitions. Now working their way through outside zone 3. We see a little bit of room being given up by Kwieciński in that zone. I think he could be a little bit deeper, and about as deep as you could possibly be in the last and final outside zone. Alan Hynes on the left here. Ebanks on the right. Winner takes home that third position here for round 4 here at Bahrain International Circuit. We've got sliders moving. They're moving left. Alan Hynes taking home the third place win over Ebanks, but nicely done from Kwieciński today, taking home that 4th position. And we've got our finals coming right up.
Do we ever? Congratulations to Alan Hynes on your 3rd place finish. But now it comes down to this, the final 2 battles of the day. You've watched through qualifying, you've watched through the top 32, but now here for the round 4 of the Virtual Drift Championship at the Bahrain International Circuit, sponsored in partnership with Grip Royal, Sim Magic, Yoka Design, and Ali Youssef. We are on Vitaly in the lead lane, being chased down by Daniel Andreev. They initiate in side by side through in outer zone 1, now into outer zone 2. Again, right on the door is Daniel to Vitaly. Vitaly can smell it. It's so close. They come into outer zone 3 along the door. Daniel gives them a little tap there into outer zone 3. They transition to outer zone 4, throw tons of angle in both these BMWs. Now into outer zone 5, they finish out side by side.
My goodness. And a teammate battle here in the finals. Let's take a second look at the first half. Vitaly out front, Daniel giving chase and doing just that. Take a look here in outside zone 1. Daniel applying some pressure quickly. Vitaly filling outside zone 1, 2 as well, putting a wheel on that track edge. And Daniel right along the bumper through that transition and then right up onto that door in outside zone 3. Filling outside zone 4, now heading into 5, picking that throttle up, and look at there, across that finish line, door to door.
I think we are in for a finish today. It is going to be on the edge of your seat if you're not already. Daniel Andreev now in that lead lane. Vitaly Isaev chasing him down for what could be the final time today. We will see at the end of this. The lights go on and off they go for the second half of the final battle. They initiate in side by side. Vitaly matching that angle beautifully. Not as close, but rubbing that bumper as they transition to outer zone 2. Now on the door. Daniel switches, transitions into outer zone 3. A big surge there from Vitaly, but he had to back out of it, then regain that proximity. He leaves the room for the transition and now gets up onto the door of Daniel Andreev. Who is it gonna be today?
Oh my goodness. Let's take a second look here, maybe for the final time here in the finals. Daniel Andreev out front, leading his teammate Vitaly through this course, initiating in and flying through outside zone 1. Vitaly right there along that bumper and onto the door in outside zone 2. Here we are heading into 3, and there we see that little bit of gap separation open up for outside zone 3, heading into 4, big angle before transitioning into 5, filling it all the way around and door to door across the finish line. Do we have a winner here for round 4 here at the Bahrain International Circuit? Vitaly on the left, Daniel Andreev on the right. Winner takes home that number 1 position here for round 4. Can Vitaly make it a perfect event after qualifying first? That big 97 up on the board, or will it be his teammate Daniel Andreev spoiling the perfect event? Yeah, no team orders here in the final battle.
No, that's give it your all. And one of y'all's taking it home, but man, what a battle these guys all put on. What track you guys came up with this time around too.
Yeah, absolutely. It was the F1 testing, and look at there, Daniel Andreev taking on the win, spoiling the perfect event for Vitaly Isaev. My goodness, so Vitaly, he'll take home 2nd place. Daniel Andreev taking home the win. Alan Hynes will take home 3rd, and Ebanks 4th. Fantastic event here for round 4, the Bahrain International Circuit. I enjoyed myself. I hope you did as well, Tanner. What do you think?
That was amazing. You know, I love the innovation on the tracks to try and trick the driver. Not trick, but challenge the drivers to be the best they can possibly be. And in this one, it was that outer zone 5 was just so tricky to get right. But if you got it right, it paid off. And we just saw from the beginning of qualifying till now just how the drivers kept improving and improving and improving. And we get left with this, and it just makes for unreal drifting. Probably some of the best I've ever watched, even from real life. And now I'm more excited for round 5.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna get our 3-man here, but missing an Alan Hynes there, as it looks like Wayne leaves enough room for him there in this
post editing.
Right. Yeah, we'll just stick him in there. They continue on here. Filling outside zone 5. Nicely done. We'll save that one anyway. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. As you pointed out too, the evolution of the track and the conditions as well. We started out a little bit hotter day for qualifying, and then moving into the last 16 qualifying battles. Went further on into the day, and track kind of cooled off just a little bit, and then into the top 32 main event, we dropped the temperatures once more, which will add a little bit of grip. So it kind of changes the way you have to approach that last and final outside zone, and we saw these drivers deal with it nicely. We did the same thing for practice as well. We had some track progression and let them test it out, added a little bit of randomness to those temperatures as well, just a teeny amount there to prepare them for today's event. And again, yeah, they dealt with it very nicely, so shout out to them once more. We'll pull up that bracket there. Top 4 to finals. Daniel Andreev taking home the win, Vitaly getting 2nd place, and Alan Hynes taking home 3rd, while Ebanks takes home 4th position here for round 4 of the Bahrain International Circuit. Big shout out to our 3 judges today as well, Chris Vitowski, Ed, and Carl, as well as Caius working the light. I know he lost power for a little bit and then managed to make his way back into the event and continue helping us out with that start light. Dion in the background as well, changing names and stuff. I know he disappeared for a little while as well, and Carl took over. As Ebanks' car is insanely loud, we'll turn him down. There we go. Well, a little bit better there. So we round things out again for today. And thank you, Tanner, for showing up and hanging out with me all day today as well.
Wouldn't have another Saturday without it.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fantastic event. We've only got a few weeks in between this round and our next. I leave tomorrow to start to head out for Long Beach for round 1 of the Formula Drift. Spot for Nick Novak. Wish Nick Novak luck there for round 1. All of you in our chat today, and appreciate everyone for showing up and tuning in for today's round here at the Bahrain International Circuit. We'll release the track here shortly as well on our Discord and later on our link tree. So join our Discord at the bottom of our link tree if you're not already in there. And big shout out to our partners as well. Title sponsor of our series, Sim Magic, Grip Royal, Joka Design, and Ali Yusuf. Once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in a few weeks. Join our Discord if you're not already in there, and we'll see you soon.
Not a little.